Good afternoon, and welcome to episode 127 of Schnozzcast for Saturday, June 5th, 2021. This is Bob, joined as usual by my steadfast chums, Nicholas Bader, Cory Todd Dillon, and this week joined by Ms. Danielle Finn, the most radiant in the room, and special guest, Scott Ward.
It's with a D.
Scott Moore joining us. We're going to get into, what are we going to cover this week, folks? A little gentleman's agreement, pick of the week. We'll do a little 90-second sports, and maybe a few existential questions. So, kids, how's everybody doing? Scott, you got to turn your...
There we go.
Scott, didn't I tell you that if I caught you doing that, I'd throw you and your fucking yinglings out on the curb?
I had it on mute, I thought.
You thought.
That's what they always say, right?
I love how people always say that. They're like, I had it on mute, and then they put I thought on the end. Like,
right.
I knew what I was doing, possibly.
Especially in like a business meeting or when.
Business meeting, Zoom session.
Right.
Yeah. So, kids, how's everybody doing?
Excellent.
Good.
Fantastic.
This is weird.
Yeah?
Sweet.
Sweet diddly do, Todd Dillon.
Toddy D.
Think about how weird it is for Todd, who it's noon right now.
That's
When
we planned on starting.
Yeah, Todd looks as if there's space aliens about to abduct him from behind.
Yeah, Todd. Todd, do you have a front-facing light by any chance?
Or a rear-facing curtains you could draw?
I do, but I'm not. I'm comfortable with this. I like living in the shadows here. Well, I'm glad you are, Todd.
Todd, this is a...
Todd, you look like you witnessed a crime and you're on investigation discovery right now.
Exactly. I need to change up my voice here.
When the man came in the alley, I did not recognize him, but I slowly backed away.
I was walking down the street.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you're new to the podcast, thank you for tuning in. You can catch us here every weekend on Facebook Live and a few days thereafter, shortly, on the following podcast streaming platforms: Spotify, Spotify, Podbean. Don't interrupt me. But the Pandora, Amazon Music, Audible, and anywhere else you can get a podcast. You can also follow us on social media on Instagram at Schnozzcast, Facebook at Schnozzcast, and YouTube at Schnozzcast. If listening isn't your thing and you're just like, fuck it, I want to ask these guys a stupid question, then you can email us at schnozzcast@gmail.com, or you can call or text us at any time, day or night, preferably night, middle of the night, at 618-SHOCKER.
Baby.
So welcome back, Ms. Danielle Finn.
Thanks.
And welcome special guest Scott Moore.
Thanks.
Finally.
Glad
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too, TD.
Todd has been waiting with bated breath for your triumphant arrival on the podcast.
Well, obviously Cory has been too. So
Just so everyone's aware, all the listeners, Scott was
three people out there.
Scott was supposed to be here, 3 months ago?
end of February. Yes.
Yeah, it was 3 months ago.
3 months
3 months
ago.
ago.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And he said, I'm going to be here. I will be on the cast. I had everything set up, his name and everything ready to go in the spot he was supposed to be in. And I show up and I asked Bob, I said, hey, where's Scott at? Oh, yeah, he's not going to make it.
Well, why did I say he wasn't going to make it?
I was too upset at that point. I can't remember.
You still don't remember why you didn't make it?
Scott,
tell the good folks why you didn't attend.
I was on my way from the Pocono Mountains in Pennsylvania, and I got 2 hours on my journey and heard the clunk, clunk, clunk in my car. And long story short, my engine took a poop, and I was stranded in...
Stop with the technical terms, Scott.
I know.
We're not all
So
mechanics.
Does the clunk, clunk, clunks and the pooping?
Yeah. If you know where Lock Haven, Pennsylvania is, in rural whatever, off I-80,
Little Punxsutawney,
I was
Pennsylvania.
stranded there for 7 hours.
This I am recalling now. It's slowly coming back to me.
And
I don't buy a single bit of it, but okay, Scott.
I had to go back. My brother-in-law came and picked me up 2 hours one way, went back, had to catch a flight it was on a Friday, and I had to catch a flight on the Sunday to fly home to northern Michigan. And my buddy, I bought the car from, towed it, went in from central Michigan, sent a guy to tow it back to his place, and then, because I had a warranty on it and all that stuff. And then he, in turn, had the car for 2 months. And
Scott, this is all fine and dandy, but you weren't here on the podcast, so that's all I care about.
I know.
Don't drag us into your web of
Yeah.
lies.
I know.
Clearly is all made up.
And ever since then, Cory has
Had it out for me.
a little bit.
Very much so.
A little bit. Which was not helped by the fact that you called into the shocker line, which transcribed your text in a really shitty way.
That was. Thank you for the correction
culpa,
last.
absolutely, yeah.
I was unable to listen live last week, but I did replay it.
Yeah.
And was analyzing the crap out of it. Like, okay,
Scott,
that's exactly what
Cory,
I told Bob.
You have
that's
no
exactly
idea
what
how
happened.
much he
I'm like, this
just
is BS.
like the Zapruder film really examined
Frame by frame?
Yes, because he's like, guys, it wasn't me. Like, you got to understand.
Well, and part of it was to backtrack a little bit was the 618 shocker thing. Like,
Yeah.
It's not very straightforward, is it?
It's
No, there's a lot to it.
call in and nobody answers the phone. Number one, and number two, which to be fair, is that the fact that you text it and then you get the text back after the show, after the taping. So that was fine too.
It was playing.
To be fair.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So I had the documentation with the dates because that's how I knew it was 3 months ago when I was supposed to be here, because I actually forwarded to the 6181 shocker. 618 shocker.
I think I see what the problem is.
Yeah. Shut up.
61687.
Yeah.
That was going to be my recommendation for a gentleman's agreement that I would have brought up when I was here.
Okay.
Woman
So
named Tammy answered the phone.
Right. Right.
618 shocker.
Some bar in South Dakota,
SHAHKER.
right?
Shocker.
Oh, you
The
want
Dollar General in Arizona or something.
you want happy ending?
Right.
Oh, wrong shocker line.
Right.
That was the Sugar
I
massage.
love this podcast. Of guess I want a happy ending.
So-
Guys, whoever that lady was on your podcast, amazing. I spent a lot of money, but she was fantastic.
So I took my lumps and
You did.
Instead
Lumps
of
were issued.
but at the point when this was all being hashed out erroneously, I'm like, everybody's like, especially Todd, who doesn't know who the hell I am, piping up, was
That's
the
correct.
fact that it was. We spent way too much airtime on this guy. What the hell? So for me to call in and like try to save face,
Scott,
or
we
go
say that about everybody.
I know. It would have been way too much airtime, legit.
It feels like we're doing it again.
I was looking out for y'all. Right.
Plus, the roaming charges from the Poconos
Oh,
are
I
just
know.
not that great.
I know. Well, no, this was when I was at home in Petoskey.
Oh, okay.
So at this point, and,
How's it on Petoskey?
Jesus.
Brag.
Looking much better there, Todd.
Anyway.
Oh, there's our friend.
There he is.
You can see him now.
Yeah, there's just chiming in.
no
right on
longer
cue.
the informant in a major felony crime.
So I'm glad that we hashed that out, thanks to Bob's.
Oh, it's not over yet,
articulation.
Scott.
Well, no, but as far as I have video, I have proof. I was able to. What do we call it? A
Transponder.
Don't say we. 'Cause
No, because
Transponster?
Yeah,
no,
transponster, I think it was.
I screenshotted you
A
the
transcription?
exact- transcription beta is what it is. It's
Yeah.
called transcription.
You're
beta.
welcome.
But that's
And
what
here
it
you,
is.
and now I
Cory
now I have to
Selesky.
help you out after you do show up.
Always dropping the science.
Jesus,
again. It
this
was-
guy, Bob.
I had proof.
Never again.
Proof.
Never again.
Proof. Hey, the show just started. We got 2 more.
Never again within the first 8 minutes of the show.
Right.
Give him a little bit of a chance.
Right.
I'm trying.
I brought beer. I brought whiskey.
Yeah, he brought more alcohol than you've brought in a year and a half.
As he should.
And did I not?
And this was actually brought for other people to have.
Oh, well.
Well, we're glad to have you, man.
No, I'm glad to be
Yeah,
here
long
because
time coming.
I've obviously followed you guys since day one.
Yeah, and by the way, we should probably spend more time having a good conversation and less time shitting on one of the few people that listen to us regularly.
Yeah. Well.
And there you have it, folks. If you're wondering
This
why
side
the
of the table.
Schnozzcast is not ranked number 1 in the comedy
this
podcast,
side gets the.
that's why.
I'm willing to sacrifice one listener.
What? How many fans do we have? 3? Fuck you guys.
I'll go pay a bum on the street to listen. He'll probably show up.
All right, we have free beer.
Hey, that's all I need to say.
We have free beer, whiskey.
You can't get rid of this guy. He shows up every week.
It smells like urine.
You have a mattress.
He's got the Schnozzcast mattress.
No, he doesn't.
Hey, Todd, are you using your Rodecaster Pro today?
I didn't. Since we switched it up, I figured I'd stay safe and go with the known setup.
The Walkman.
Gotcha.
Not
Well,
the Focusrite Scarlet.
ooh. Is that the i20 or the i21?
Sounds tasty.
20.
That's what I thought. It sounded like an i20.
Yeah, you got to go for
Wow.
the
Yeah,
21.
yeah. I didn't spring the extra $13 for
Maybe,
the 20.
yeah, maybe in years to come, you'll goose that salary up a little bit and be able to afford the i21.
Yeah, Todd, what the fuck?
that-
Make some more money.
Maybe you can
That's
sell
the
one of
game
those
plan.
mountains.
That's
Sell
the
one of those
game
mountains in
plan.
your backyard to some landowners.
Todd loves a good goose.
All right, Corey, let's jump into gentleman's agreement.
No.
As we are wont to start the podcast. Danielle Finn.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot recall if you gave this review, but it's the last thing they have listed. So I think that it was Nick that assigned you Magic for Humans.
Mm-hmm.
Did you give this review already?
No.
No.
Sweet.
Been
Diddly-do.
cursing my name for weeks.
Just
If
this
she
morning.
remembers
Just
anything
this
about
morning,
it,
actually.
just in the car right over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I watched it this morning.
Okay, give us a quick synopsis and tell us what you thought.
I mean, it's basically a magician who goes around town, I guess. I don't know, never really said where he was at. He's just like on the streets stopping people.
Petoskey.
Sure, Petoskey.
Right.
And performing magic tricks that are kind of unexplainable, I guess, would be the best way to put it.
Aren't most magic tricks
Amazing.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
Not supposed to be explainable.
Transcendent.
Sure. Have you seen it, Todd?
Corey, take
I
note.
have.
Oh, okay.
For next time you have to introduce her. The transcendent
Transcend.
is
Yes.
Danielle Finn.
Yeah, he's been carrying that radiant for quite some time now. So
So much so that when I looked at her this morning, I was trying to. The first thing that popped
that's
in my
all.
head
Yeah,
was radiant.
I'm like, God, I've talked to you about this before.
I've
I'm
been
like,
brainwashed.
He doesn't know many words, so you have to give him like a word every couple weeks, so he doesn't know.
He's never, I just want to clarify, he's never called me that before, so.
What if like
You mean when you're not on the podcast?
like at
Yeah,
the
I mean,
at the pure climax
I
of
don't know where it
sex,
came
he's
from.
like, "You're radiant."
that would be really fucking weird.
Only if there was, only if there's a mirror in front of us.
oh, you're radiant.
Really glad my mom's not in here today.
Not that we know.
She'll listen.
We'll send her the
Right.
link.
That's okay. But yeah, it wasn't, I mean, there were some really cool things that he did. It never, like I told Corey, I was like, I would have never picked this up for any reason to sit here and watch multiple episodes of it because, I mean, I was good with one and been done.
I came in the living room and I saw this guy talking to a very, very large dude, and they were like face to face. And he did this little trick, and he did something with his hands. I'm like, why is this? Like, this looks familiar. And then while they were like nose to nose, he reached up to the other guy's nose and goes, "Boop," and tapped him on the nose. I'm like, I've seen this. I'm like, what the hell is this? And Danielle's like, this is my stupid pick from Nick.
Wow.
I was like, what's the name of it? She's like, Magic for Humans. I'm like, I've seen all of them.
Have you?
Oh yeah, watched the entire thing.
But like I said, it wasn't bad. It was entertaining, but I could have watched one and been fine with one.
Okay, fair enough. All right, Nick Bader. You have
Nope. Too busy. Didn't watch anything.
seriously?
Yeah, I'm dead serious.
All right.
100%. I'll do 2 for the next week.
Okay.
What were you supposed to watch?
Departed.
Oh, I assigned that one.
Yeah, and I'm
Good.
actually excited to watch it too.
It's really good.
In,
Yeah.
sorry to cut you
No,
off.
you're fine.
In gentleman's agreement news, I did find out last night, Nick, you just fell short of having to watch The Big Lebowski and pay for it. It's now on Netflix.
Oh, it's fantastic. Don't worry. I think I paid for it twice. So
I'm sure you'll continue to pay for it in many other ways.
I pulled up Netflix last night. I'm like, no shit.
yeah, that's funny.
Don't worry. He told me, he's like, guess what? I was like, what? He's like, The Big Lebowski's on Netflix. I
Oh.
go, because we don't have 3 copies of it already?
Isn't it always
Wait,
playing?
you have
in the
3
background?
copies?
Yeah.
One's not to be opened.
I have one unopened
What?
copy, an open copy, and then a digital copy.
Okay. Explain.
What is there
So
to
I always
explain
have a
he has
copy.
problem?
But why is there one that you wouldn't open?
It's going to be a collector's
It's
item one day,
collectible.
Bob. Yeah, thank you, Todd.
You're not going to
Exactly.
live long enough to see collector's item status for that movie.
Watch the day that Jeff Bridges kicks the bucket.
But you're assuming that the market isn't already flooded with.
Oh, I know it already is.
So how would it be worth anything more than any of those other
It will be. You just watch.
45 million copies?
Okay.
Just watch.
All right. Now, if you got it signed by Jeff Bridges, that
I was just going to say the autograph
Yeah.
memorabilia market.
Maybe that one's in the mail.
investment.
Have you done any? Sorry, I'm taking us far afield here, but I gotta know. Have you done any research into the Lebowski Fest?
I have.
And
They did not have one. I don't know if they're going to have one this upcoming year. I'd have to double
Okay.
check back into that. But I did look, and there was nothing around even like remotely close to this area in the last several years.
so it's going to be one of those things that you check on yearly to see if it's anywhere close driving distance, so that you can go and worship at the altar of Lebowski.
Most definitely. Oh, dude, I would go in a
No, I know you
second.
would. I would want to go with you just because.
I would want to watch you both drive away.
Danielle, would you go if he asked you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so everybody knows too, I still have not touched that sweater.
Bravo. Bravo.
I just wanted to
no
throw that in
skank
so
for
in
it.
case
No,
anybody was wondering.
that's
Have not touched
Amazing.
And-
I did not know.
And real quick, too, Ron from the Cheesy Chicken podcast would like to know how much you like that movie.
Well, he can listen to the last episode, or I can tell him that it was okay. It was not, I need to change my life for the Big Lebowski like you do. And it was entertaining, but I'm not going to dress up like, fucking the dude and walk around and all that stuff.
Yeah, he came in there. He was like, I assume he hates that movie.
Yeah. No,
That's
he
a
doesn't.
good
He doesn't hate it.
assumption.
He doesn't hate
It was
it.
well played, Ron. Well played.
Yeah. Mr. Todd Dillon, you had to watch the 100. I assume also from Nick.
Yeah, that was me.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I had to watch the 113 Reasons
13,
Why.
right?
Right.
13.
That he-
Yeah.
So,
right.
so I ended up watching 300
Yeah.
and A Million Little Things.
please.
And
tell me.
13 ghosts.
No, honestly, keep going. Did you watch either of those movies? Which one?
I did. I watched both. I watched both. So
Okay.
I'll start with the 13 Reasons Why. So, movie again, suicide flicks aren't necessarily my thing, which is why I think my brain instantly went to the A Million Little Things, which is another suicide flick or series, and so I give the 13 Reasons Why a solid C minus. Basically, the plot
A
is
C minus?
Did you assign that? No.
No, I've seen it. I've seen all of it.
Okay.
There's
All
like
13
I-
reasons
No,
why.
there's 3
there's like
seasons?
7 seasons.
There's not 7. There's like
It's
3.
It seems like 7.
first
Because
one-
here's why. Again, I know that I'm supposed to suspend disbelief when I watch these things, but first, who's leaving behind 13 cassette tapes and then having them passed around? At the end of the day, anybody knows anything about cassettes, especially in the age of CDs and MP3 files. So somebody's thing's going to chew the damn thing up, which it almost did right at the beginning. I'm like, oh, this is almost over. So the fact that they're passing around cassette tapes is weak. And then secondarily, at the end of the day, I want to like Hannah or whatever her name is, but she's a strange girl, and I'm not advocating the bullying that she got. I think what was done to her was wrong, but God bless America. The nerdy kid didn't do you in. So why has he got to listen to the damn tapes?
Right.
And my last thing that gives it a C minus, dude stole a cassette tape out of dude's Mustang and then crashed, fell onto the ground, and the thing still worked. Craziness. Solid C minus.
Okay.
All right.
The 100.
I'll continue watching it though.
Will you?
I will.
Why would you continue watching
Yeah.
something you just gave a solid C minus?
Because I've invested too much time not to see what the hell happens here.
But a C minus means you really don't give a shit about. I mean,
But
it's
that's
got to
the
rank
thing.
higher if
But-
you're interested.
But you have to understand the whole point of the first season is there are 13 tapes because there are 13 people that
I've never
Yeah.
seen it. Does that mean there's one tape per season?
no 1 tape per episode.
How many episodes are in the first season?
13.
So well, you're
yeah,
done,
Bob.
right? So you made it through 13 episodes. You're done. 13 episodes, 13 tapes. Why would you need to watch more?
There's more. I mean, more stuff happens.
There-
Todd,
exactly.
Todd, I kind of compare it to Lost, because there are a lot of things that don't make sense, but it's like a scab. You keep going back to it and you keep picking it. You're like, okay, really? There's some sort of large monster in the woods knocking trees down. There's some polar bear at one time on a tropical island. Like, this doesn't make any logical sense whatsoever, but it sucks you right back in. You're like, let me watch that next fucking episode.
Exactly. It'll be a night where, again, I don't want to start something new, or I finish something and I got an extra half hour, 45 to kill, and I don't mind getting interrupted. So I will watch some more of this trash, but solid C-.
Okay. All right. Well,
The C- trash.
I can't wait to hear what you thought of the 100 then.
The 100, it's stacking up to be similar. The premise it's stacking up to be similar. So again, it follows without no spoilers, but again, the Earth has we've gone to war, and it made it so that the Earth is uninhabitable, and a bunch of people join these the nations have a space station, and so there are thousands of people in this one single combined super space station now, but they are realizing that they're going to run out of air in some period of time, and so they start having these draconian measures to kind of conserve. Like, and if you break the law, they call it floated. They put you in the airlock and send you get sucked out into space violently as your punishment. And then the kids, they don't necessarily kill them, but they put them in prison and they ration out the food to them. And at the end of the day, the premise is, since when one of the guys figures out that no matter what, they're going to run out of air in a couple of years, they hatched this plan to send 100 of the criminal kids to Earth to see if they make it, and how long they make it, to figure out if it's worth sending everybody down to Earth and to live there. And then so the adventure begins. It's like the Lord of the Flies. There's 100 kids. I think one of them dies on the way down, and then this one dude takes over, and yeah, it's a bunch of craziness. And again, here's kind of the details matter. So in one scene, they actually stumble upon a car that's like buried, and to hide from this nuclear fog that's coming through, and they find a pint of whiskey, and then they proceed to get drunk on this pint of whiskey. And then the next day, when they get out of the car and go back to the camp, there's still like 4/5 of the pint left that they're still passing around. And I'm like, how the hell did 3 kids get drunk off a pint off 2 sips of whiskey? And I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. And then one of the key antagonists, and I'm feeling like he's gonna get killed off, but I think he's invincible now, because there's one guy who wants to fight everybody, but he's a lily, and he gets his ass beat in every encounter. And then he gets falsely accused of killing somebody, and so they actually hang him. They actually drop him from a tree, and his neck actually, the rope kinks and everything, and he lives, and he's chasing down the alpha male of the group. And I'm like, that doesn't make any damn sense. The guy's a fink, and he's got people to follow him after he's being a dick to everybody, and he should have been dead anyway. It's craziness. But I'll keep watching it.
Yeah, for
But I'll keep watching
for
it.
not necessarily being the biggest supporter of these. This is the most exercised I think you've been about any review.
Solid C-.
I love how we started talking about how he's supposed to suspend his disbelief, but at no point did he ever do that.
No,
no, I did.
I did,
dude. As soon as, like, literally, if they again. Do the work, right? Oh, there's a case of booze back here. Okay. Don't have 3 kids passing around a pint of whiskey and then getting out the next day, rolling back into camp with a full pint of whiskey, and they all got sloshed. That's craziness.
I think they found.
And you don't get hung and recover to chase people around the jungle. Just doesn't happen.
Those are spaceborne people. You don't know.
Doesn't take much for some, Todd. A couple sips will do you.
You don't know. All right, Cory.
So I'll keep watching it, though. I'll see if it gets better.
It sounds like it can't get any worse. Cory, you had to watch Free Fire.
From you, yes.
Yes.
Man, I don't know what to think about this movie, to be honest with you.
Good. That is the reaction I had, which is why I assigned it to you.
It wasn't terrible, but it wasn't good.
Yeah. Yep. Sounds about right.
It's about 2 groups that go in to do your typical movie arms deal. And, of course, it goes bad. And what I didn't... So and then a shootout ensues. And I'm watching the shootout, and it's going on, and there's dialogue back and forth between all the different characters. And I'm like, okay, well, the movie's going to start at any point now. And then I hit my screen, and it's like, oh, you have 20 minutes left in the movie. I'm like, what? I'm like, literally, the shootout happened. A couple people got hit. A bunch of people dove behind some bricks and different barriers, and they stayed there for basically the entire movie.
Yeah.
And I honestly thought, like I said, I got so wrapped into it that I'm like, yeah, the movie's going to start at any point.
Right.
And it never did. It was literally just that. These two groups in a warehouse shooting at each other and having dialogue about the shootout and how they're going to get out of there. I will say, and I don't want to spoil it, but I did see it coming with the one person in the group that was able to make it out.
Oh, yeah.
I called that from the beginning.
Yeah.
But otherwise than that, I mean, yeah, it's not terrible, but it's not good.
Great.
Yeah.
For me, it seemed like it was like a one-act play that took place kind of like Reservoir Dogs in like one location.
Yeah.
And they're like, let's give the actors like free reign to do whatever they want. We're going to give them all the squibs they want to fire. We're going to put all the sound effects in that we need to put in, tons of fake blood. And they just, at the end, they're like, well, I think we got a whole movie out of this. I thought we were going to get like a 30-minute short film, but this is like an hour and 50 minutes.
It was strange, man.
Yeah. For me, it went like all the way through to the other side to be kind of great after that. Like I can't believe they did that and had my attention for the entire time.
I can see it becoming kind of like one of those cult classics. It's going to take a special person to really be that into it. But it'll definitely have its place. And the one part of the movie that I was cracking up at was when Martin popped up, and oh man, you're shot in the head. I was just, he walks in, he's like, oh, that's what a brain looks like. And he comes awake. Martin, you're shot in the head, and he continues to ensue hell and continue about killing people while his head's completely blown half off. But
yeah, it wasn't I definitely watched it. That's why I assigned it to you. I definitely was intrigued as to why it had my attention at all. So I'm like, I'll just assign it to Cory. But in fairness, your list you had already turned down 2 movies by the time I assigned that to you. So I think I was down to like one line of like maybe like 4 or 5 flicks left that I thought you might possibly be able to watch.
Yeah, no, dude, again, like I said, it wasn't, I'm not giving you a thumbs down for it by any means, but I can't give you a thumbs up for it. It's just, it was a very awkward movie.
Did I do better than a solid C-?
I'll give you a C.
Woo!
I'll pass you.
All right. I had to watch Sandy Wexler from Cory.
Yes.
Where do I feel like telling you to go suck a dick on this one, but and here's why, because I've seen not everyone, but tons of Sandler films. And he has, he can, when he's doing stupid shit, it's great. Happy Gilmore, Billy Madison, fantastic. Because you know what it is. It's meant to be stupid Adam Sandler humor. It's not meant to be serious. And then he does a couple of really good dramatic roles where you didn't know that he could act. But at the end of it, like Punch Drunk Love, Uncut Gems, fucking fantastic. I'm like, this guy can act if you give him the right thing to be in. And then there's fucking Sandy Wexler, which wanted to like straddle, I think, the line between the two of those worlds, where there were some parts in there that were serious or like heady, more dramatic moments, and some parts that were really like just broad comedy. But the problem was, Sandler was trying to be like, I know you know the answer to this, Cory. What's the movie where he played like the son of the devil?
Oh, Little Nicky.
It was like you put Little Nicky in Goodfellas. Like, it's supposed to be serious, but the guy who's your protagonist has this fucked up, stupid voice that continues throughout the entire movie. And it got to the point where every time Sandler's on screen and has to talk, I'm like, oh, fuck. Like, every part where he was doing something else and other people were talking, I'm like, this isn't half bad. But then he started talking that stupid voice, and I'm like, I can't take it. But I made it through all the way to the end.
You realize that it's based on a true person.
Didn't matter.
Okay.
I looked it up because I was also like, is this a real person?
Yep. And
it was.
You realize at the end of the movie, at the wedding, even in the movie, the neighbor's husband, the old guy that was bedridden, that's the actual Sandy Wexler.
I didn't know that.
Yes, that is him.
Doesn't help at all.
All right, I wasn't sure if it was going to or not, but I would want to make sure you were aware that it was based on a true person.
No, I appreciate that. And for my part, as a follow-up to this, Cory, have you seen Uncut Gems?
I have. That's basically the only movie of his that I have not seen.
Have you seen Punch Drunk Love then?
Yes.
Okay, so having seen that one, do you understand what I'm talking about? Like the work he did in that, where you could take. Adam Sandler has like a couple of different speeds that he runs. Either one is like broad physical comedy, but another one is he does like anger and rage so well that a movie like Punch Drunk Love, where he's required to be just like in his own head and like moments of like crazy rage, he shines.
Yeah. No, and I more than agree with you that he does have those two speeds, and he can do, very serious movies and serious roles, and then he can do the completely off the wall, kind of baddie movies.
Yeah.
As like the the Happy Gilmores and all that. And he did try to kind of meld those two with Sandy Wexler. It seems like. Scott, have you seen Sandy Wexler?
I have not.
I mean, I enjoyed it, but I'm just a fan of that kind of stupid humor.
Yeah.
But I could see where if you were just a fan, like it's either got to be stupid humor and like serious, or I'm sorry, either just a stupid humor or be serious. You got to have one of the two. This is definitely a mix of that I could see where you wouldn't like the two intertwining.
I think having watched this one now, I think the only other thing he's done that I haven't seen is Ridiculous 6 for obvious reasons. But I think he's got 3 speeds. He's got Happy Gilmore or Billy Madison, that just lowbrow frat boy, you know what I mean? And then he's got the Punch Drunk Love sort of rage where like that's the whole thing, and he turns it into something different. But I would tell you that Uncut Gems, you'll find that there's a third
speed.
There's a third speed he's got. And in Sandy Wexler, he's a nice guy. He's a nice guy who means well, who has no rage, who has no, if he does, it's all buried. Like he's just a nice guy. And with the voice, I'm like, I just can't get behind it.
Now, without having seen Uncut Gems, have you seen The Cobbler?
You know what? No, I haven't.
Okay,
I guess that's 2.
So I have seen The Cobbler.
Yeah.
And I think with the speed that you're talking about in Uncut Gems is the speed of The Cobbler. Because I think one of the two of us needs to see the other one then. Because I more than agree. Dude, even if it's not for the agreement,
yeah.
I definitely watch it because I went into The Cobbler thinking like, oh, it's Adam Sandler. It's going to be a Happy Gilmore or Billy Madison. And dude, like halfway through it, I'm like, whoa, this is not turning into that.
Perfect. Well, you and I both have enough trouble trying to find shit for the other person to watch, so let's just keep a gentleman's agreement. I put it on my list because I was looking for shit for you.
Okay.
So, and I'm sure your list for me is short, so keep that on the list.
All right.
So, and I want to close it out here with Mr. Scotty Moore, whom I tasked for his special edition to watch Dallas Buyers Club, which he did.
Well, and you gave me a list of do you see any of these 5?
Yeah,
and
you said Dallas Buyers Club always looked
stood right
interesting.
out because it came out in 2013.
So good.
Exactly. And I can remember the anticipation for it even being released about Matthew McConaughey losing 50 pounds and just like, how does he lose 50 pounds? He's this big to begin with kind of thing. And then
cut both his legs off.
Right. Yeah. Something like that. But then for him and Jared, Leto to get the Academy Awards that they did for their performances. So obviously had all the acclaims behind it, and then I just never got to it. So for Bob to bring that on that list, I jumped on it. I was like, oh yeah, I'll watch it tonight, kind of thing, and I did. And obviously it was outstanding. It was great. And The acting was incredible, and the writing was incredible, for that matter. Because reading a little bit, and I didn't do it at first. I wanted to do it afterward, just trying to kind of read like some of the Wikipedia stuff and just kind of see the awards and kind of some of the writing and some of the background. That some of the characters, the main character, obviously Matthew McConaughey's character was real. It was real, of course, but they put in fictional characters around him to add to the story. And Jared Leto's character was fictitious, and to come up with the writing for that, and then casting the right person for that, it was just a home run. It was incredible, and I got done watching that whole thing, and it was just incredible. It really was, and it was one of the best movies I've seen. 8 years too late, and a long time.
Better late than never, Scott.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
Kind of like the podcast.
Right, I was gonna say it was right on cue. Like, hey, I've been here in 3 months. I haven't watched the movie in 8 years. So, but yeah, it was. I would recommend it. I would give it an A+, Todd, and
Nice.
it was great.
I would say that your recommendation isn't needed because everyone's probably seen it. But then I thought of the company I'm in, and I realized Nick's most likely never seen Dallas.
That's
Buyers
why
Club.
I didn't divulge too much about it.
Fair enough. Fair
And,
enough.
You haven't seen it, have you?
What?
Dallas Buyers Club?
I don't know. I have no idea what that is.
Okay.
Yeah, so I highly recommend it, Nick.
Okay.
Put it on your list of stuff that you need to catch up on.
3
Put it
movies
on my
this
list
week,
of
buddy.
things I could assign
Yeah.
to Nick. Okay.
Right. It was great.
Excellent. Thank you, sir.
No, thank you for.
Thanks for watching it.
No, thanks for including me on that.
Yeah. So let's do new assignments for next week. I got. Scott, do you want to be involved here?
Sure.
Now,
Because I have ammunition, or I have things to recommend.
all right.
I
Then.
have one from 3 months ago that I texted to the show.
I never saw that text.
Oh,
Wait, did you
here
call
we-
in and have it
No, I
transcribed, or
haven't
did you actually text
texted. I
it to
can
It
me?
pull
was
it up.
618 Shuker.
Shuker. No, 6181.
618
Shaka.
618 Shukran.
Yeah.
I already saw
can't-
MASH.
That's another topic we will cover, Mr. Dillon.
Will we? Okay.
As far as
We have a Schnozzcast Schnott in front of us right now. We have a history of wanting everything as cold as possible and cranking down the deep freeze and then just letting them sit on the table.
Yeah.
So here's to you. Cheers.
Cheers.
Salute.
Woo.
Oh,
Todd,
much better.
Todd, I forgot to ask what you're drinking today.
I am drinking a little Moose Drool from Big Sky Brewing.
Todd, you know
I'm
they
not
make
doing-
beer.
I'm not doing day shots,
Oh,
so I'm
Cory,
drinking one thing.
A moose wandered in from his mountains,
Right.
stopped by the back deck.
Todd just held up a cup. Here, buddy.
That drool. Give me some of that drool.
Why do I have a very clear picture of Todd just standing there in front of a moose holding up a solo cup?
yeah, because the moose was probably wondering where all that mountain waterfall water was going. Realized it could smell it coming from your house and all your ice cubes over there.
And so then Todd got in his helipad and flew away.
Yeah.
He's like,
I'm not going to feed
He's-
Mises.
He's showing the camera the artwork on the can.
He's showing the camera the artwork.
yeah? Oh, Todd, you got something else to show the camera?
No, don't say things like that to Todd.
Todd, you got something else to show the camera?
yeah, that's a
Yeah, I got something to show the camera. D's nuts.
finally asked me.
If
Seriously.
this was a nighttime show, 100% these nuts would be on the camera.
Dude, you haven't asked me that since Alma days.
Oh my God, Bob! You know how many years I've been waiting for this?
Finally, my day has come.
You said it was just between us.
I told you that in confidence. No, Todd, you get something in the mail the other day?
I did. Well, we talked about this last week, I thought.
Did we? I don't know.
We did.
No one
I got
watches.
We
the
talked
Black
about
Panther.
we talked about the idea of everything and how everything turned into you sending those toys.
That
but
was 2 weeks ago. Because I
was
was
it 2 weeks? Okay,
It was 2 weeks ago.
but Todd received something since then.
You did.
And I thought I shared it last week.
You
Well,
did.
share it again, baby.
He did. Yeah.
Hang on.
You're not, I don't send you shit every week, so yeah, I want to milk this.
Oh, so he's resharing what he shared last week?
Yeah, it's a reshare.
I got
Reshare.
it Exactly. I got my my Black Panther action figure to go along with all my other action figures in the Marvel and the things where I can't suspend my disbelief.
Right.
And that's episode 126, everybody.
Yeah, so I only have Groot and Venus Flytrap to obtain.
Yeah.
And I will say, Venus Flytrap is proving difficult,
And
to say the least.
and the Wibbly Wombs and the Ghibli Jorts.
Yeah, exactly.
I can't wait for Groot. Get me. I want one of the larger Groot, so I want a big one. I want him to take up some
Oh,
space.
hold on.
Now Todd's giving requests.
Yeah. Hold on.
Wow.
No, I want the 3-foot one.
Exactly. I want the 3-foot Groot.
Todd. Yeah, as a matter of fact, Todd, they do make a Funko Groot.
They make a lot of them. There's one, he's dressed up as a Christmas tree, and I really want him.
I took a large Groot this morning.
Todd, I'm sure at the base of one of your mountains there grows a tree that looks similar to Groot. Then
That's
that
true.
should be fine.
That'll
We're
work.
talking about the base of my mountains.
All right, new assignments for next week. I got Nick, and Nick got me. Cory has Danielle. Todd has Scott Moore. Danielle has Todd, and Scott has Cory. Scott seems very excited about this pick. Cory, not so much.
Scotty, I hope
I'm
you
sure
have
I've already seen it.
some sort of documentary.
Check the 618 shocker line
Oh, I
for
will.
the text that I sent 3
I
months
will.
ago.
No, we haven't had service that long.
That was the 618 one confusion.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, kids, who wants to go first?
I can go.
Yep, you got Danielle.
Danielle, you have Bert Kreischer's Hey Big Boy.
Okay.
His stand-up special.
All righty.
I can't add it because my phone's over there.
No.
I'm putting on the OneNote. If you don't have access on your phone, Cory does.
Yeah.
So you should be good.
Just
I usually just go in my Netflix and add it, so it's in my list.
take his thumb and put it on his phone while he's sleeping. You find out all the secrets of the world there.
Danielle, you have Todd.
Todd, have you seen Who Killed Sarah on Netflix?
I have not.
Okay, it's dubbed over, but it's not horrible. It's in Spanish, but
Sorry, what's it called?
Who Killed Sarah?
Sounds morbid.
No habla español.
Somebody dies, so
Nick, that's a rollicking comedy.
named Sarah.
It's not involving a suicide, is it?
No, it's not a suicide. It's a murder.
So Billy Madison it is. Got it.
Happy Gilmore 2.
All right, Todd, you got Scott Moore.
It's a throwaway pick because he's not going to do the homework. But anyway,
No, I didn't commit to it to not do it.
Yeah, no, so he may not be here, but he will write his review and text it to 618 Shocker.
No, I'll call it in and then see
If
how
you
it's
want, seriously,
transcription.
we'll get you on the phone and I'll
Right.
hold it up to the mic and you can give your review.
No, right. I can call
Whatever
the
you want.
number. We can do something crazy like that.
Man on the street.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm Todd. I can't believe you wouldn't think I would follow through with that.
all right. Have you seen The League?
Yes.
All right. Have you seen Devs?
Devs, like DEVS?
Yep.
No, I have not.
On Hulu.
Okay.
So generally the rules here, in case you forgot, you have 2 hours worth. So if it's an hour-long show, that's 2 episodes.
I follow the show, Bob.
Gotcha.
Since day one.
Since day one. Bob.
Scott,
Since there was shit on your shelf in your basement.
Hold on. Some of us have been shitting.
that is a
some of
throwback.
us have been shitting on Scott for weeks, and that comment, I'm getting fucking naysaying from the group. Come on
Just
now.
clarifying that
I mean,
I listen. I'm aware of the rules.
I'm just trying to make sure. Okay.
He put his foot down.
And,
as soon
when
as
you
he came
asked
in,
me to,
yeah.
well, I want to be included, I said yes. So
Absolutely.
I'm in.
All right. Well, you got Cory.
Okay.
What you got for me, buddy?
I was conflicted, and then I have to go back to the one that I sent 3 months ago, just because it was you about giving me the shit about not being here 3 months ago.
Fair enough.
Okay. Have you seen As If They Were Angels?
No, I have not.
All right.
I don't like the sound of that, but
It's called As If They Were Angels.
as if they were angels. Okay.
Where can he find this?
I rented it on.
Ah, you motherfucker.
From Blockbuster?
Dude, I will pay you the $5.
Don't do
No,
it.
no,
No, those aren't the rules.
No.
No, I know.
I
If
thought
he
you
doesn't like
followed
it,
the show
no,
from the
I said
beginning.
I will pay him.
No, then
Don't pay
you
him
haven't-
anything.
No,
If
if
you
he doesn't
had
like
followed-
it,
no.
I will reimburse him. But
Of course you will, but he has to
I
watch
know
it
he
first.
does.
He has to
I
pay
know
for it.
he does.
Okay.
That's how confident I am. I would put my money where my mouth is, kind of thing.
Okay.
Scott
The $5 right here.
Scott Danielle needs new shoes. Times are tough at the Zaleski Finn
Times
household.
are very,
I don't
very
need
tough.
new shoes.
So that was more of my
Funko
reference. I know
purchasing
the
is an
rule.
all-time low.
What?
I think I just rented it on Amazon when I watched it. But that
As-
was 3 months ago. It might be streamed somewhere now.
I'll
As,
look it up.
if they were angels. That's
As if they were angels.
Okay.
Wow,
All right.
$14.99 rental.
I only offered a $5 credit.
Scott, you only sent me 5. Yeah, sorry. That's,
I got 20 minutes into it. I had to stop.
All right, Nick.
That's all he paid for.
Nick, we got
Thanks
each
a
other.
lot.
You want to go first? You want me to go?
Yeah, I'll go.
Okay.
Bob, you have to watch The Goonies.
You've never seen the Goonies?
that is
I-
that's surprising, dude.
I know it's.
I found a gem from his.
You did.
From slightly like his time.
And I'm surprised that Nick saw it before you.
Oh yeah.
Well, I mean,
you and me both.
That is surprising in a way, but
He and I were talking about this a couple of weeks ago. It's just one of those things that just flew into my radar, and I never. By the time everybody started talking about it, I'm like, it's too late.
I am really baffled by that.
He actually got angry at me when I was talking about it. I'm like, oh, it's something I'm like, I can't believe you haven't seen. He's like, yeah, well, I haven't. Okay. I was like, well, it was kind of your time. Not really. It wasn't. It was a little after my time. I just haven't seen it.
Because you hit that nail on the head of
Dude, it's not a personal flaw. Relax. It's just.
he's the movie guy
I
and
know.
you're not.
I know.
Right, so the fact that
That's what I was thinking. Was that one of the 8 movies that Nick has seen in
Yeah.
the last
Yes.
20 years?
Exactly. And
Just
Bob
happened to
had-
hit the
No,
right-
no.
Achilles heel.
No. I pointed out last week that the list of movies that Nick has watched since we started doing this agreement
question.
is pretty extensive and impressive. I'm not sure if he appreciates what that list looks like. If
I
he's
do.
ever looked at it, but it's a long list of shit. So,
and speaking of, I went back last night. I was putting some notes in, and I went through the list of all the movies I've watched ever since I've just even started taking notes.
Yeah.
It was like episode 76. And I was like, holy shit! I've watched a lot of movies from just the recommendations that you guys have made.
yeah.
So it's actually pretty cool to go back and see and have a documentation of what you've watched.
Are you going to put that in your journal?
I just might.
Are you still journaling?
I am.
No, you're not.
I just might. Are you?
His handy,
Nope.
his handy
Not
dandy
at all.
notebook.
He told us he was online journaling like
It was the pick
like
of the week.
17 months
It
ago.
was, yeah. It was a long time ago.
I still have it, and I still do it.
Okay.
www.corytalks.cc.
Oh, it's not online.
You said it was.
I said
No.
I was going to think
what
about
he
putting
said
it online.
was he was doing it for posterity so that when he died, future generations could discover his wisdom.
I think he had told me
said that.
one night.
I'm paraphrasing, but I think I got the general spirit of what you were saying.
One night drunkenly, he said that he has when he had his small heart monitor pacemaker put in, like right below the skin.
Yeah.
They attached a Wi-Fi signal to it, and the second his heart stops, it sends the files to a server, and people have been paid just like to cryogenically freeze someone to immediately upload to the internet all of the Cory Talks journals.
That would be pretty sweet, actually.
And that's something wrong? Or?
Yeah, no, I'm all for that.
Corey's like,
that'd be really cool.
My one final tech move.
That'd be very, very, very cool. I'm gonna have to look into that.
Danielle, feel that bump?
All right, Nick. Do you have any preference? I have a laundry list of shit.
Hey,
What?
Since when are we doing preferences? Come on.
Well, I could pick something, but sometimes you have to learn to stroke the ego a little bit. Go like, hey, Nick, what would you like to watch?
I mean, at least spit in your hand first.
I'm not above that.
Let's see it.
Not about that or not about that?
So I'm gonna go. Go ahead.
Both.
Yeah, if
Right.
there's like some, because I I think this is more of a mafia thing that I have to watch. So
No,
no. With the one I didn't watch this week.
Which
He's got
was
The
The
Departed.
Departed.
Oh, he says Departed.
Yeah, probably
So
falls into that.
yeah.
Maybe give him something more happy.
Okay,
So maybe like a Western or
I'm
something.
gonna perfect. I have exactly the thing for you. You have to watch McClintock.
Yes. That's a great movie.
You haven't seen it, have you?
No way in
Bob,
hell has
Bob,
he seen that.
come on.
If he
Well,
had-
hold on, but it's
if
a
he had-
Western,
If
so-
he hadn't seen
Not
any of
seen
the
it.
spaghetti westerns, he's never going to see
So
that.
I got to give credit where credit is due. Lori and I were talking about this the other day, and there was a movie that I want to take just a minute here before we break to ask a question of the group. Here's the question I had. There was something that I have been keeping an eye on for like the past 4 months.
I was going to say, I've been keeping a secret from all of you.
Yeah.
This is what it is.
Right.
Yeah.
But you're snipped.
I have a secret baby. No.
Yeah.
Which are the best kinds of babies, by the way, the secret ones.
Okay.
Anyway,
Let's come back to
Laura's
that.
got a very small identical twin attached to her hip.
I mean, if you're going to have a baby, why not have a secret baby?
Of course.
I think I just got the title for the episode.
That's what I was just thinking in my head. I'm like, yeah, that's the title. Right.
So the question was,
Danielle.
I said, I have this thing I've been looking at for the last 4 months that I think that Nick would love. I think it falls right down his laneway. But I haven't watched it because I know it's not a thing that I would like. But I know Nick Bader well enough to know that I think this really speaks to him. And it's not some of those, oh, I fucking love Nicolas Cage, and I think Nick would love like this.
I hate
No,
Nicolas
this is
Cage.
actually, this is something where I'm like, I would bet a paycheck on whether that he would like this.
Corey?
Yeah, let's do it.
Now, the problem is, I'm like, hey, Lori.
Hate it.
Hey, Lori, do you think, is it okay? Can I assign this to him? And she's like, well, but you know the rules. She's like, I watch the show every week, and you have to watch that first. And I'm like, fuck, are you sure I have to watch it first?
Yeah.
She's like, yeah, you got to watch it first. I'm like, but what if I watched it and I hated it, but I still thought Nick would like it? And she said, I think that's okay because then you watched it. No, actually, she said, no, because if you hated it, then how can you assign it to somebody else? But then I asked like Jack and I asked like 5 other people, and they're like, yeah, no, if you still know your friend, like all you have to do is watch it first. That's the real thing you have
Right.
to do.
I would say the whole agreement is to give something that you think the other person would like,
Right. Even if
you hated it.
even if I totally hated it,
Right.
like would never watch it again or never recommend it to anybody else other than Nick.
Right.
Okay.
Okay, so
That's my question to- do you feel
go
the
around,
same,
Hold on,
or-
we're going to go around the table.
Oh, okay.
And since it's an audio podcast, we respond with I in favor for being okay to assign a movie that you think someone else would like that you've never seen before. Corey,
No.
you don't think so. So nay. Danielle, has nothing to do with watching it or not, but
Well, no, it
if
does.
no.
You
But so
haven't
there are
watched
2
it.
questions.
Right.
So this question is, if someone, if you think someone would like the movie but you don't like it yourself, is it okay?
No. Stick with the same question. Are we going?
Yeah. So the question was, the first question is going to be if you haven't seen it.
Right. So let's just
is it
do that
okay to
first.
assign it? So Corey,
If you
if you haven't seen it, can you
have
assign
not
it?
seen it.
No, you have to see it.
Correct.
Yeah, you have to see it.
Okay.
I think we're all in agreement.
Yep. Have to see it. Okay. So the second question, you've seen it, you don't like it, but you think the other person will like it. Is that okay?
Yeah, I would think that's if you think the other person would actually like it. If I personally didn't like it, and I was like, "Well, that was a shit movie," and I think Nick would find it to be a shit movie, then I think there's no point in doing that.
Right.
Especially if you find it that shitty yourself. But if there was something about it that the other person would appreciate, yeah, I'd be okay with that.
Like they wore cowboy hats, and you're like, "Oh, Nick."
Or
sometimes
like,
wears cowboy
oh, I
hats.
watched this movie that starred Jeff Bridges. I hated it, but I know Corey likes Jeff Bridges, and he might like him in things other than Big Lebowski. Like, I might want to assign it to Corey.
So Danielle,
Yeah.
okay or no?
Yes. Okay.
Scotty.
I am going to speak for the new guy and the guest and the listener for 100 plus episodes or whatever, that I would say no because
You shit stirrer, you.
Yep.
I wasn't going to chime in earlier with we were talking about the fact that you guys have covered so many different cool series and movies and shows and whatever. I've picked up on some of them. I know other listeners, I'm sure, have and watched. Oh, Bob likes kind of the same stuff that I do, so he recommended it, so I'll watch it, kind of thing.
Right.
So if you're recommending something to somebody else because you think they may like it, but you didn't like it,
Yeah.
is kind of a. Am I going
I
to
see
watch
where you're
that?
coming from.
Am I going to watch that, but then not like it?
But I would say I didn't like it.
Right?
It's
No.
not like
It's nothing
It's not like I
that's
would keep it a
transparent.
secret. I'd say, like,
But-
I hated it.
Right.
But I really think you should watch
Right.
this.
And so, like a Vincent's Picks kind of thing. Like someone is Team Bob.
I guess
saying,
there's just so many things out there that it would
Yeah.
be
Right.
You can come up with something better.
Yeah. And so what you're saying is, okay, I would rather have a Bob pick that Bob likes because I've liked.
You don't do this every night. You do it once a week.
Yeah, I've liked.
True.
I've liked.
Some might think that's too often.
I've liked
Right.
every pick Bob's made. So
Or the consistency of each of your interests.
yeah.
And
now-
the track record behind it, like,
Now we have the perspective. Maybe Nick might like this, but there's a chance that Nick's not going to like it, and I already don't like it.
Right.
So
why waste your 2 hours
Yeah,
or
right.
whatever the movie was?
All right,
That's a fair statement.
Toss then.
Oh, you changing your vote?
Yeah, then I agree with Scott's opinion. That the way he put it, that's very eloquent and well put.
Wow, you've
They've
turned
really
a vote.
turned- yeah.
You've turned a vote. So we have
No, hold on. We haven't asked Todd yet.
Yeah.
Todd.
Todd.
Gotta have Todd weigh in.
I'm confused.
All right, which part?
Yeah.
The original
So
question?
I think you shouldn't assign anything that you haven't watched. I like that.
Correct.
So and then assigning something that you didn't like. Although I give most things a C minus. So I wouldn't say. I mean, I wouldn't assign something that I absolutely hated, thinking that someone else in this group would like it. So I guess I'm okay with that as well.
So you're saying no on that?
Correct.
That's not okay. Okay, so 2 no's.
Am I the fucking tiebreaker?
No, it's 2 no's, and you and I have not cast our vote yet.
Oh, well, it was my question, so I think I'm going to vote. I vote for if I legitimately have your best interest in mind, and I think I know you well enough to think that you would like it. I'm not doing it just because, like, I ran out of picks, So I think I should be allowed to do it, especially since I had to watch it.
Interesting. Yeah, I tend to I see both sides, but I tend to agree with. I think that the core podcast group knows each other well enough that if I thought someone would really like something, I mean, a lot of it's stuff that we like, that we are like, oh, you've never seen this, you should watch it. We hope that you will like it, but it's not always the case. But if it's something where, let's say, for instance, Bob saw the third movie of the Clint Eastwood spaghetti westerns and was like, wasn't really my favorite one. He did a better job and blah, blah, blah. But I know Nick's seen the first 2, and he was way more geeked about him than I was, and I really think he would like this. Then maybe.
Right. I feel like it's not going to happen that often because, I mean, how often do we ever say, like, I hated this movie, I really want you to watch it kind of thing?
Not very often. Right.
Might not be a relevant point.
Right.
Yeah, and my point is, like, I've had my eye on this thing ever since I saw him. Like, holy shit, they made that! Wow, I gotta keep track of it, and I kept track of it and kept track of it, kept going back like every couple weeks until finally it's available on a streaming service, and I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah, I think as the tiebreaker, I would probably say, I think it should be okay, but it goes against what Gentleman's Agreement is about. And if regardless of our mindsets on different genres or documentaries or how a movie's made, at the end of the day, it's your recommendation. And to put your name on it when you don't like it is kind of contradicting. I may like it. Yeah. Sure.
Right.
But you're signing a check that says, I'm giving you this. This is good. This is good as cash.
Mm-hmm.
It's got my name on it. It's my stamp of approval. But you can't give that stamp of approval if you hate it. Just on the bearings of perhaps you might like it. You know what I mean?
That's what I was saying. There's just so many things out there.
Right.
I'd like to counterpoint this thing because I'd like to say that everything I've ever assigned to any of you that I've watched in the past, I liked, but I thought that you might like it.
Correct.
I didn't know for sure.
I've done the same.
I didn't know for sure. Yep. And what are we doing if we're not trusting our own judgment in each other, that we're spending every weekend together for 2 hours talking and trying to learn the rhythms of how we tell stories and tell jokes and interact and all that sort of shit. and recommending one to the other different assignments, if not learning what people like.
I think for anyone to make that recommendation, it would probably have the highest potential of success coming from you, because you are ensconced in movies and you're really, you get deep into them and you understand kind of what makes your friends tick, and I think you value it much. You put a lot of weight into it, and I think if it were to be successful, it would be coming from you. So the thing that I would say on a situation like that, unless the not watching the movie is an absolute no. But with something like this, I would bring it to the board's attention or approval to say, hey, option to pass. You bid on it. You say, hey, this is a movie. This is whatever, blah, blah, blah. This is what it's slightly about. I didn't like it, but I think you'd really like it. And you know what? Not this week. I want a movie that you recommend.
And remember, we always have the guarantee of, like, if you don't like it, I'm paying for it.
Right.
Yeah, if it's a rental.
It's really just your time. It's not your money, it's your time.
So
that is a question. And I'll add this as the last thing I'll say about it. If the vote is no, that I can't do this for general agreement, I still feel so strongly about this that I would end up paying for the purchase and giving it to him. That's how strongly I feel.
Yeah.
So let that
Back to my point with you.
weigh what it means.
So
that's how I
would
feel
that
about
be
it.
acceptable? No, you would not be forced to watch it, just like a normal gentleman's agreement. But if we ever got into that situation, which we may or may not,
Dealer's choice
did you have the option to pass?
or option to pass? Yeah.
I mean,
Kind of opens up a.
Then you get the best of both worlds. Then you
Yeah.
get to look at me and go like,
It's
did he
slippery.
really
I-
have my
slippery
best
slope.
interest in mind?
I mean,
But I feel like it's not going to happen very often
Right.
where you're
I
going to
agree with
think of
Danielle
a
on that.
movie
That's
that
also true.
I know I hated this movie, but I really think you'll like
I was
it.
going to say
'Cause
this is
often-
probably the only time this will ever come up.
Because how often
Might
do
be.
we ever watch a movie on our
Just
own
cut to the
that we
chase.
hate
What the hell you want to say?
that we think somebody else is going to like?
Yeah, to my
Let's just
mind,
cut to the chase.
in my mind, the recommendation of a movie that you didn't like that you think someone else would like is you're putting it out there to say, I know you so well
Right.
that I'm willing to waste a pick on you, and that I might potentially have to pay for. Why would you do that if you didn't really think that the person would like it?
Hey, but before we go any further with any of this, are we sure we're going to have Krabby on next week? Because
Yeah.
you're giving him way too much rent. Dude, the thread is blowing up.
Oh, sorry, what?
Krabby has been like
Krabby's,
going.
he's just killing you.
Chatty
as far
Cathy on the...
from the first 5 minutes, he's like, longest preamble ever.
He said, I'll pay you all to move on.
And it's for the love of God.
I said that.
That's
And I've been
Let's
agreeing
just
with
cut to
him.
the chase. Let's just cut to the chase. What do you want to do, Bob?
so serious.
All right.
Holy shit.
Well, I look forward to listening to
I'll
the...
pitch in $1 with the rest of
I
us,
look forward
just
to
so you can
listening
pay
to
it, so
Krabby's
just so you can
podcast
sign
when
it
he
and go
starts
from
it,
there.
where he can talk about whatever the fuck he wants to talk about. All right, so that's Gentleman's Agreement for the week. Let's take a break.
Oh, and your own even said that horse has now
My
been
own?
added. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Your other half said that horse has now been added to the menu at Taco Bell. It's been beaten so much.
Oh, wow.
Dang.
Yikes. Wow. All right.
Sally Salty, ladies and gentlemen.
And on that note,
You know, the crazy part is I looked at this as like being a genuine like interchange of ideas, but everybody else
It was-
fuck you, move on.
It was not
No,
well
we're-
received.
We're at that point now.
No, wrong button. Wrong button. Right there.
Hey, are we gonna vote? Are we gonna
We're
vote
gonna
on
take
it now?
No, there's no vote. People want us to stop talking about it immediately.
So, yeah, we're going to take
Voting
a
has,
15-minute break. Go ahead and hang out with
minute.
some of our celebrity friends. If you've never listened to them, give them a listen.
Welcome back to the second half of episode 127 for Schnozzcast. Thanks for sticking with us. I want to do real quick. First of all, let's check and see if Mr. Todd Dillon is back in the room.
He is here.
I'm here.
Todd Dillon,
What's up?
what is up, sir? We want to do getting out the telephone. We're going to do a little 90-second sports because it's always a good kickoff for the second half.
Always.
And we see him heading in that direction. The 20. He's going for 40. And it's 90 seconds sport.
Mr. Todd Dillon, your 90-second sports sir, starts right now.
Sweet. So this week I wanted to talk about really not necessarily sports, but the fact that just a couple months ago, Michael Jordan's rookie card, a 1986 Fleer card, two of them actually, sold for $738,000 a piece.
You don't
That
say.
is amazing. And so I wanted to really kind of delve into that. I mean, literally 10 years ago, you could have bought picked one of these cards up for like $8,000. And now they're now it's dropped again, but literally two people paid $750,000 for these Fleer baseball cards that were like less than $1 a pack back in 1986. But I can't go into that because I just found out this week that frickin' the horse that won the Kentucky Derby failed its second drug test. And I feel like I'm getting jobbed here because I bet on every horse in that race except for that mofo. And now I'm hosed. And like I lost all my money and it's going to take like 4 years to litigate this thing. I don't get what the hell is going on in horse racing because they should rerun the Kentucky Derby. Because Soup and a Sandwich was in the race. He was going to win the damn thing, and he got nudged. But I'm not even going to do the honor of naming the damn horse. I'm just telling you that cheaters shouldn't cheat.
That was 90 Second Sports, ladies and gentlemen. Unfortunately, time is up. We will allow
Soup and a Sandwich.
We will allow, considering Scotty Moore has driven all this way to see us today, for him to
Rebuttal?
comment. Yeah, to him to comment on that.
Point counterpoint?
Yep.
So this is one of those things, like, again, I could have called into the show 4 weeks ago.
It would have been
Yeah.
unreadable.
It would have been unreadable and unanswerable.
Yeah.
That type of thing.
You
So,
had the wrong
Todd,
number.
so as you know, Michigan is now legal for, online gambling and all that stuff. So
Why would I know that?
Because, it's Michigan and you're from there, that type of thing.
Well, not really, but okay.
Shut up.
It's nice
Anyway.
to meet you, Scotty Ward.
Yeah, whatever. So the counter act to that, I was telling these guys before when I first got here, was every time you bring this up, I'm the anti-Todd. That, long story short, I actually, for the first time in my life, put an online bet just in the stabbed at it and bet on the horse that won and won some money on that.
Wait, you went on Soup and a Sandwich?
No.
Damn it.
But the guy I was sitting, to be fair, it's to Todd, the guy that I was sitting next to at the bar bet on Soup and a Sandwich because of the name. He's like, I just like the name.
As did I.
He's like, it's all about the name. It's so cool. Who comes up with these names? So he bet on the name. So I said, well, I'm going to bet on something that is whatever it was, 12-1, whatever. I'd never done it before. Damned if it didn't come in, and it won. Now, the follow-up of that
And
is
you
all
should have
this,
to give your money back.
this is where I'm headed with this. So the options were, this is new. We can't just give you your winnings through either your debit card you did it with and or your online banking. We have to send you a check. So I had to, put my information in for them to send me a check with my horse winnings. First time again.
Horse winning.
Yeah, that's what it's called. It's called
Horse
horse winnings.
money.
Is that what it's called?
Horse winnings.
That's how you know you got a problem when you
Horse
got
result. Yeah,
horse winnings checks
That's what it's
coming
called. So the check's in the mail, kind of thing, and this all hits the fan. I'm like, oh shit! And only a couple of my buddies knew about this, and they're texting me right away, dude. Where's the check? And I'm,
Did you get your money?
Yeah. So I follow my mail or whatever, and I'm like, oh, it's coming tomorrow. Oh my god. So I get the check, obviously cash it right away on my phone. So the joke is they come knocking on your door to come.
But legally, they can't take it away.
Right.
Because
Oh.
I know,
it's
but
already
it's
done
just
and over
it's just
with.
it was the joke.
No, that's what they keep saying.
Right.
Even though all this
Right.
is coming
No.
out, they can't take anybody's money back.
No, it wouldn't be legal. It would
Right.
be
Right.
Muggsy and
because everybody was betting on
and Big Joe
the
that would show up.
pre-race,
Right.
what do you want to call it, arena or whatever. So that was kind of the anti to Todd's point that I've been living with, listening to him for the last 4 weeks or whatever it's been. That I'm living the other side of that, like, okay,
Somebody's gonna take my
I
money.
bet I bet, and I won on the winning race,
Bing
the
bong.
winning horse,
Who's
and
gonna take my knees out?
who's knocking on my door now to get
Bing-
their
bing bong.
Guido wants his money back. or
Yeah,
whatever.
Mr. Ward.
So that was
I hear
yeah,
you got some
Mr.
good
Ward.
horse money here.
Yeah.
We need that check back.
Yeah. So anyway, so that's why I wanted to bring it up, Todd, because I brought it to these guys earlier. So
Todd,
All
how
right.
do you
It's
feel
bullshit.
about that?
I think it's bullshit. You should give your money back. They should rerun the race.
Rerun the race.
Yeah, because ultimately, like I said, he's freaking nudged Super the Sandwich out of the way to get to the lead. Who knew he was
wire to
doping?
wire, that guy was.
Bah,
Wire to wire, he won.
bah,
Oh no, it's on TV. I saw it.
bah.
Should they replay the games where Barry Bonds got
Right. That's oh boy, here we go.
sorry, man.
No, 90 Second Sports is over. As soon as Barry Bonds comes out, we get out
You know that name?
Get out the shepherd's crook.
You know what's not
Yeah,
over though.
exactly.
You know what's not over though.
Funko This. Funko This.
That's my favorite part.
I tried to hold it back, but I can't.
Don't hold it in.
Let your freak
Seriously,
flag fly.
it's my
Todd.
favorite part that
Don't
you
fight the
laugh
feeling.
at yourself. I
So
look forward to it. I'm always like, all right, come on, Todd.
I tried to, and I'm trying to I'm like, nope, I'm not going to laugh today.
Yeah, okay.
this week's Funko This actually completes a collection. And Bob, I know you'll like this one
Nice.
Oh, it's Carl Speckler.
Yeah.
from Caddyshack.
Only
Oh.
at Walmart.
Only one I've not been able to find from the Caddyshack collection. Stopped by Disc Replay the other day, and there was one last one sitting there that someone came in and sold.
Wait,
So-
they sold it back to Disc Replay?
Yes.
Like, fuck Carl Speckler. I don't want this thing anymore.
Apparently someone did.
Okay.
So, $10.
Wow.
Nice. I love how the mouth is crooked in a Carl Spackler way.
And he's also holding the clay squirrels.
Naturally, the
Which
varmints.
isn't bad because
Clay,
the Walmart ones
those
are
are
like
C4
$10.
squirrels.
That's a rabbit in his hand, by the way.
Nick's looking at this going like, I don't know what the fuck this is. I don't know where this
Yeah,
is.
you
You've
haven't
never
seen
seen
what it means.
Caddyshack either, have you?
No, he has not.
Oh,
Come on,
man.
dude.
Oh my goodness.
Those are not
I
rabbits.
mean, it's a movie and sports, so
Looks like a rabbit to me.
That is true. There's lots of sports in that movie.
there it is.
And for the audio
It's
listeners,
40
that's,
years ago. 40
that's
years old.
Pop Movies Collection number 723, if you're keeping score at home.
So, finally completed the Caddyshack collection.
Oh, you're done buying Funkos now. Fantastic.
No,
You
no, no,
retired
no.
the segment?
I just
right.
pre-ordered 4 of them the other day
Someone's worse than I am, to be
from
honest with you.
Target. They're okay. To be fair, they're Office ones. I have to get the Office ones.
Continue.
Which Todd, they came out with. They're coming out with another Stanley.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Which we will have very soon.
We will because I
That
just
is
have to go to
unordered.
GameStop and order them.
Todd, can you? I know you're in IT as well. Can you put together like a graph that charts the line of Funko purchases versus 401k value?
Absolutely.
I have not touched
Absolutely.
my 401k. It is absolutely fine.
No, that's the point. I'm sure there's been nothing going in that 401k for a while.
No, I contribute to my 401k
As do I.
every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Funko This.
no. So Danielle seems very surprised by that. This is clearly not a conversation that has happened yet.
Well, because he just started a new job, so I don't know.
Your 401k rolls over. every-
If you roll it over,
well, yeah. Oh, no, I'm just going to stop.
some
Oh, my
people
God.
do
Okay.
sometimes. I didn't say you did. I'm just saying there are people that cash it out and then just start over.
Corey has something different. Actually, it's
If
No.
I would have cashed it out, trust me, you would have known.
Corey's
That's
got one of
true.
those 400.5 cases.
You would have seen some purchases showing up to the house then.
Corey's
It would have
funny.
been more than 4 Funkos from
Hold
Target.
on. Can you contribute to a 401k from a gas station? Because if not,
Oh God!
I feel like
if he could, his 401k would be incredible.
No. He's got an Oscoda 1K. And none of his money goes to cost of living. It just goes towards a house in Oscoda when he retires.
I'm sure that's like
which,
his
as we've learned,
dream.
does not include you.
No, because you'll be on the Lake St. Clair,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, I would be good with any lake. If I'm retired,
Just not one
then
that Corey's on.
it's fine.
Corey's like, as long as it's not my lake.
I love how
it's fine.
Gotta be far away from my lake.
I love how no one commented on the fact that they're both still happy and own 2 vacation homes on lakes. Like, oh, how are you not living with each other?
Just
Like,
wanna be on the water.
they're obviously living very happy, having all kinds of sex when they meet back up, and then going back to their lakes.
Oh.
Oh, thanks, buddy.
You're radiant.
That's right.
No, transcendent. That's what we're going with.
Right. I'll have to switch that out.
Yep.
So there you go. That's Funko
Corey,
This for this week.
dictionary.com for transcendent before you put that on there.
That's fine.
All right.
Existential question of the week.
Todd's looking, Scott's looking at his watch going like, is it time for that already?
No.
I was going to ask you, dude, what do you think now that you're like in Command Central with Todd Dillon in your ears, not just in person, but also on the pre-recorded?
I miss watching Todd.
Do you?
Undress.
No, I've seen that. I don't need to.
Who hasn't seen that?
Right, I've seen that.
I've seen it. I wouldn't see it again.
But when Todd's mannerisms when he's on live
Yeah.
is he'll sit and listen, and then he does this thing where he kind of gets his face to the microphone like, yeah. And it's pretty funny. But I don't even know if he knows he's actually doing it. So it's just, Todd, you're called upon. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So I kind of miss that.
Just did.
Todd, I told you, Scott to be
your point?
bringing his A game tonight, Scott.
So, and as a compliment, I miss seeing that part of it. But
okay.
but the cool thing is that, and I referenced it earlier, was being that I've been familiar with the show since day one.
Mm-hmm.
If you come a long way since Bob shit on a shelf or whatever, and the
Oh, he did not shit on any shelves.
whatever we used to call it, you know what I mean? I'm trying to be funny about it, but
They call it an upper
But
decker.
What's on Bob's shelf?
right,
Title number 2.
I know.
like
I was
that.
being
I like
fun.
title
I
number
was.
2.
I
I
was.
can't put shit in the title of the
I was
episode.
trying to
Okay.
spin it funny. So to see the advancements in the obviously investment in the technology and the boards and the video
The
and the
blankets.
music and blankets and
The air conditioning.
the dude
The-
artwork and but no I mean that in a serious way is that you guys have obviously made that leap that hey we're going to continue to do this. I said this kind of episode 100 when I chimed in a little bit.
Yeah.
Was,
You were texting the wrong number, by the way.
well, Facebook is. It's on Facebook. I
618
thought it was.
Shaka.
I thought if it was on Facebook, it was right.
yeah, I think we got that one.
Right. But that you guys have invested not just your time and your energy, but also monetarily to make it such a cool thing that the audio, the video, the music in the background, and the graphics and all the stuff, Nick, you've done, and it's really. You can see that evolution that from day one that it's really cool to see.
You're Scott. You're really trying to make me forget about you not showing up 3
Scott.
months ago.
Thank you, buddy.
You were already
that-
allowed in the house.
I brought beer.
God bless Scotty Ward.
Dude,
I like this guy.
that means a lot, man. No, that really does.
It's to see it live and to see the tripping over the wires and all that. But I mean, if there wasn't more wires, that means
Hold on. We've definitely tripped over wires, but not today, my friend.
no, I haven't tripped over a wire.
No.
No, us like
Oh,
routinely, like every weekend.
Corey and Bob is what he's talking about. But
Yeah.
but
No,
yeah.
And I love how while he's giving us all sorts of compliments, we're like shitting all over him, going like,
no, we really appreciate it.
I can't shit on him for that one because that I guess it's something that we doing it every week and every little addition we make. Yeah, I guess we've never really thought about it in the overall aspect of what we've come from.
Right.
So for someone to, like Scott, to have known from day one until now, to realize that evolution and the time and effort that we put in, that does mean a lot, man. So I thank you. That's
and to actually have come up with some type of concept to call in or text the shocker. We make fun of it, but that was something that I would have loved to have seen a year ago, because it was like, hey, this is something that's cool. We want to chime in, and you guys are so inviting to the listeners and your friends that listen. And to shoot a text like, "Oh, Nick, you're full of shit," or whatever, whatever, just to say like,
Thanks, man.
and to do that and have that access instead of, and you've seen that evolution where, oh, I can get Todd on the phone in Seattle and I'll hold the phone by the microphone. And hey, Todd, you got to speak up because I got you by the microphone and I can't hear you, but the listeners can hear you and all that. But to be able to pull it all together to do it is again, it's an evolution, and it's
Meanwhile,
really,
Krabby's like, move on,
Yeah.
move
Right,
on.
right.
No,
This is boring.
right.
No,
like
yeah,
your
not
Kermit the Frog.
not to
I
lick
miss
our own
those.
balls, but it's nice to hear, because we don't ever think about that whatsoever, and it's easy to forget coming from a laptop at a kitchen table. So yeah, we've come quite a ways, but we wouldn't do it if we didn't like it. So we really
Correct.
appreciate that you noticed.
Yeah, I don't know this guy, but he said what he said to me was really nice.
All right, so Nick's existential question. Appreciate that, Todd. Let's see here. So the existential question for this week is, if you could own only one thing for the rest of your life, what would you choose? So not a desert island question of 3 things. This is one thing that you have to get rid of everything else in your life. Trying to curb the follow-up questions.
the clarifying questions.
Questions?
Yep.
Well,
You could-
I do have a clarifying question.
already.
yes, Todd.
Well, because you said you had to get rid of all the things that you did. You can only own one thing. Can I rent and lease things as well?
I don't think there's any liberties for that in here. I don't think so.
Okay.
I think it's just own one thing.
But
So,
we're not on a desert island. This is just
No, we're assuming that you're still going to be fed and you're still going to be alive.
You don't need like things
Food,
to create
shelter,
fire.
water.
Or,
yeah,
Okay.
food,
or
shelter,
the wheel,
water.
or-
Yeah, food, shelter, water. You have. But if you
Okay.
could one thing own
material.
for the rest of your life, what would it be? Bobby, I don't think you ever go first.
I never do.
This is the time you should.
Yeah. So what better time than right now for me
Right.
to go first?
Awkward
Absolutely.
segue.
I mean-
No, because you always put it on me.
Yeah. Oh, Danielle.
Nope, I'm not going first. Pass.
Pass.
So, you can interpret it how you wish to interpret it. If it's,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, own is the key word.
Own. Owns. Who owned the Chiefs? owns.
Maybe I
owns.
should have gone first.
Yeah.
I am struggling here. Okay. So
Filibuster.
it could be so at the end of it, you own nothing except for this one thing,
Correct.
right? Mm-hmm. Other than the food, clothing, shelter, water that you
Yeah.
will have.
Necessities.
the
Yeah.
necessities.
Yeah.
But we're not on a desert island. It's just living your life.
Yeah, correct.
Okay.
Like completely own.
Does it have to be something I currently own, or it could be anything?
It could be anything.
What if that was a satchel filled with $45 billion?
Okay.
Problem solved. Unless you're telling me I can't spend that money
I
anymore.
was just gonna say, what are you gonna do with it?
No, I mean, you own it.
All right. Satchel with 45
Do you
billion.
actually own money?
No,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
Possess?
It's my satchel.
He owns the satchel.
you possess it until you wish to purchase things.
Right.
Yeah, but that doesn't again. So you own a satchel. That doesn't mean that the money would be a second thing, right?
Yeah, I would say that's probably correct.
Oh, okay.
Because the money is constantly moving from hand to hand. So It's not something. It's
I will just take a pile of $45
it's
billion,
tangible,
please.
right?
Yeah.
You would what?
A pile of $45 billion, please.
No, you don't own that.
Well, no, that you said I could own
But that would mean you could never spend it if you owned it.
No, that's what I asked. Can I not spend this now? And
You could, just sit on a pile of money.
so I can't spend it.
No, because if you want to say that you own something, it's something that you're not.
This
that's
is
not tangible.
This is the Brewster's Millions argument.
Right. You have to possess it.
Am I the only one who's seen that movie? Todd, have you
I've
seen
seen it.
I know you have.
Wait,
I've
ask
seen
me.
it.
Ask me.
How do you spell Brewster?
Fantastic movie. I remind me to put that in my shit for Nick Bader to watch. Brewster's Millions with Richard Pryor, where he inherits $1 million. It's I have the numbers wrong, but let's say it's $1 million,
I think it's $1 million.
and he has to spend the $1 million without. In 30 days, he has to spend $1 million without having anything to show for it. And if he can do that, so within 30 days he spent $1 million but has no assets, he wins. He wins like $300 million.
Right. A fortune, like it.
Yeah. So I feel like this is along those lines.
Yeah, it's there's a couple little hidden rules that you got to kind of follow, and
Okay.
because anyone could, it's the wish for more wishes thing,
All right. Gonna go with my plan B then. Can I have a Walkman with headphones with all of my favorite music in it?
Sure. You would own it.
And that counts as one thing, the headphones and the Walkman?
Yeah.
Okay. And the power
But not the
supply.
music.
And the power
But
supply.
not
And
the music. No.
No, with
Just the
Cassettes.
Walkman.
preloaded with my favorite music.
Why wouldn't you just say an iPod?
An iPod preloaded with my favorite
he
music.
wants a Walkman.
Yeah, whatever music you want,
With the headphones and the power supply,
whatever,
so I can listen to it.
Yeah, you have food, shelter, water, so you've got
Okay.
electricity.
That's what I would do.
So
That's
Walkman
the-
with all the music you'd ever want.
Yeah, you start to think about like, okay, if I can't have $45 billion because I can't spend it, what do I love from day to day, week to week? What is most important to me? Should I have said children?
You own them.
Should I have said my kids? Yeah, they can have their own. They can own me. That's fine. They can own their father. Let's just assume I'll be owned by one of my children. Yeah, I would say all the music I love on my iPod with the capability to listen to it in a pair of headphones with power.
Okay. So I would say, I'll go second so everyone else can think about stuff. I would say a 3,000-acre ranch with my own private lake.
Fuck.
That's why you
Knew
don't,
I shouldn't have gone
That's why
first.
you don't go first.
Yeah.
I'd own it.
But Danielle shamed me. She's like, you always make me go first.
You always do.
Fuck. So, all right. So we have a shot sitting here that Cory just poured.
Yeah, on that note.
All right, Schnozzers, go ahead and if you want to do a shot with us of any kind of libation, or if you
Todd,
need
it's 1:47 p.m. Pacific time. Is it time for shots yet, or you got stuff playing with Mary for the rest of the day?
No. It's still too early for shots. But I'll
When
have
is
a
shot
drink
time? When is post time for you?
with you. 2:30.
Okay.
it's usually when my dentist appointment is. Cheers.
All right, cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
Oh,
I do have to say the first fireball always goes down like an endoscopy, and these ones work a little bit better.
yeah.
Okay, moving right along.
Sorry.
Oh, it seems like Cory wants to go next.
Moving right along because since Cory just raised his hand.
I'll go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Originally, up until a few weeks ago, I would have said my laptop.
Yeah, you have said your laptop.
I know I have. But again, since we can't own people, I can't say Danielle. So let's get that out of the
You
way.
definitely don't own.
Wow, let's
Exactly.
No,
So-
I
hold
didn't
on.
say.
I know
Hold
you-
on. I didn't say you couldn't own people.
You kind of
Let's-
touched on that.
I just
Right.
said I assume one of my kids
Guys,
will
we're
own me.
gonna shy away from the owning people conversation, and we're just gonna breeze right past that.
Exactly. Dangerous waters.
Pretty
Dangerous
sure I'm not
waters.
a-
We'll move on to the next
I'm like
chapter.
the last person that would allow to be owned
Right.
by anybody.
There's a 7-second delay, but it looks like Todd's still on the video, so that's a good sign.
Exactly.
I would say my kayak at this point.
Okay, but you do own your kayak.
But if that's the only thing.
No, that's not what you said.
That's true. I mean, you can. I mean,
Right,
That's what I would want to hang on
you
to.
could
Let's
currently
see what-
own
yeah,
it, or
take with you, or
That's
or
that's
not.
the one thing I would have.
you wouldn't want like the best kayak in the world? You want the current kayak you have?
Dude, I'm more unbelievably happy.
Dude, you know how much research he did on that kayak to come to the conclusion that's the one we were getting?
With the amount of funds
A
a lot
lot.
that he has his disposable income. That's what he was taking into consideration. But I will respect your decision. That kayak outside. That is the only thing you're going to own. Got it.
I'd absolutely be more than fine with that.
Danielle, I will toss a wet shoe at you if you say my kayak.
No. Well,
A wet
Do
shoe.
you have a wet shoe just standing by?
I will.
Originally, when you had said the question, I was just thinking like owning a house, but since we already have shelter and all that,
Yeah.
I would love like to have a camper to go camping up north.
Ooh. Like a motorhome or a
Like an Airstream pull behind.
They'll pull behind
pull behind.
because then you
Airstream's
can
nice.
detach and you can still
Right.
go.
Right. This
Yeah.
is. Did you know this?
Yeah,
We've been looking.
we've been looking at them.
Are you
so.
serious?
Yeah.
There's no more
Like
room in
with
the
the
garage.
potential for purchase as a
Yeah.
really good
It's
for
great.
you guys. That's amazing.
And you can go farther north than Oscoda. There's great campgrounds above the
On
45th,
Petoskey?
above
Cory's
the
like,
45th parallel.
shut your filthy mouth, Scott
above the
Moore.
45th parallel.
But no, like
there's
I-
incredible campgrounds.
Like growing up,
Just saying.
my grandparents had a
As a-
motorhome, and so we went camping like
Not a
every
pull behind.
summer.
They had a motorhome.
They had an
drove.
actual motorhome.
Okay.
And we would just have a tent and whatever.
Now, to get that, then you'd have to have like a pickup truck probably to pull it.
We've been
There-
looking at like smaller ones.
An SUV will be in the near future.
Really?
Yeah. So,
I have a
this
feeling.
is-
but I
have
loved camping
It's
as a
amazing.
kid, so I would love to have a camper.
I have a feeling later on tonight when like the dust settles, like Corey's gonna like pull me aside and be like,
I don't know, brother. Just when Scotty was trying to tell me about places in Oscoda, like I don't fucking know. it just really pissed me off. It was
Because,
just really rubbed me the wrong.
Not in Oscoda, north of Oscoda, like away from Oscoda.
But even like Tawas has that really nice campground. We would be able to take a camper up there. We wouldn't have to get like something. But yeah, I've always wanted to have a camper. So
more mobile.
"It's a good pick,
Literally.
Wow.
yep.
I'm so proud of you guys.
Mr. Scotty Moore."
Our little babies are growing up.
Originally, when the question was asked, the first thing I thought about, it popped in my head, was this.
Your phone.
Was a phone. Not because I'm like obsessive with
Not
my
your phone, a phone.
Just, well, the
Okay.
technology that goes into a phone with the access to the internet and, download movies and songs.
The
and,
Schnozzcast, right.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, I've done that too. And just the whole convenience.
I don't
of
like the
that.
way you said that. I've done that too.
Yeah, I've done that too. No, I have. But then
Just
I
space
had
is
this.
running low.
I was talking to my brother-in-law this last week about. We kind of had this similar post-COVID-ish conversation. That I think that I would love to own, or develop, or whatever, a freaking like the old school drive-in theaters with a concert venue, like kind of sublet, whatever. So it'd be like a concert venue
/
days.
drive-in theater.
Yeah. So when it wasn't a concert, you just come in and watch like the old school drive-in theaters and watch the
But
drive-in.
hold on,
Which
But I'd own it, and it'd be like
your
a mega
amphitheater. Is it
I was
seats
just gonna
or
say,
is
like
it
an
parking
amphitheater?
spaces?
No, it'd be
What-
well both. It would have.
How is it
obviously-
both?
So because
It's
you gotta
actually
remember-
really funny you bring that up because there's one by us that it's
A
Freedom-
combination amphitheater.
so it's Freedom Hill.
Right. Freedom. I'm familiar with Freedom Hill.
Yeah, so Freedom Hill has like their amphitheater for the concerts, but they've just
Yeah.
started doing like on the side property. They've been doing drive-in movies, like old movies, nothing like current.
Sure.
But they've been doing all the old stuff.
So hang on,
Son of a bitch.
Hang on. So basically, you're to clarify, you want to take the idea
Clarify
of
question.
tailgating and a concert and mix the two. Okay, I see where.
And obviously you have to be fluid from a business side of things. So okay, we don't have a concert this night, so we're showing the movie of the week or whatever,
Right.
the new release on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, or
Miss
whatever.
Congeniality, right?
Or whatever. The 3 movies you've seen, and that's one of them. But to have like,
all over his laptop.
I don't want to say like the whole Mega Bowl type concept, but to have that all, like the property would obviously be incredible.
Yeah.
yeah.
And you have obviously dining and clean. You could have camping facilities.
Right.
You could have.
Scotty, I'll give you this part. You can go ahead. And
Wasn't
use,
have talk like this?
You can go. You can go. You can go ahead and use some of the acreage on my land.
Danielle loves when I
Oh,
do
okay,
that.
yeah.
I like the
The
arm
hand
movement.
gestures, the
Right. No, I caught myself doing
typing.
it. I was like,
I know. I'm very.
I caught myself doing
Hand
that. So that's
talky
why I was
person.
teasing. I was laughing at myself.
I'll tell you what, man. The idea of doing that and taking away, like, don't get me wrong, I love concerts, but I hate groups of people. I hate being around groups of people.
I hate people.
You didn't know that?
I love. No, I knew that.
Oh, I
I
was
just
like-
didn't connect the two.
But that's where the come and go as you want.
Well, and that's so if I could pull my
the
car up
flexibility of.
and have my own space
and be
my-
around people as well as not having any fucking contact with those
Correct.
animals.
Yeah,
Corey's like
that
dream world.
that is a dream.
Little doo-wop music playing in the background.
I'm more than fine with that.
But to have a multifaceted facility, but again, big property where you could, on an off night, say, you know what, we're showing whatever the new release that's out because now we're getting past COVID or whatever, or somewhat.
Don't fucking say miscongeniality because
No, that's what he said.
the Goonies.
Yeah.
oh, Danielle.
Whatever. So,
There's enough time
but then
to
to
play
be able to
Who
bring
invited
it,
her?
but to have the
Fancy.
capacity though to pack in
so
like a Pine Knob, and we're bringing in
'Cause
our favorite band this weekend.
Why is he pointing at me?
some venues have
Because
been
we're going to a concert. You
Oh,
motherfucker.
okay.
some venues some venues have been kind of doing that on the level that they can. You're talking about taking property and building it from the ground up to make sure everything is fit for that.
Everything.
Okay, yeah.
Everything.
I
But
like
I mean,
that.
everything though.
Like
you
I
could
said,
have say
Freedom
oh,
Hill's trying to
Wednesday
do-
in the summertime. Wednesday at 2:00 is Kids Day. You bring your car in, you bring your kids, and there's whatever Thomas the Train's new movie out, and you watch
Thomas
it.
the Train.
whatever. Barney or whatever the fuck you want to
Barney.
I don't think Barney
Those are
comes
too
anymore.
horrible. If you're wanting to bring foot traffic
No,
into
I
your
had
Thomas
three
the Train is
kids.
still very popular. Let me tell you.
No, there's no fucking way.
You want me to pull
I
the
work
Wiggles
with
out of my
children.
ass? You
Yes.
know?
It's still a thing.
Yes, Wiggles too.
Think
Just
that's-
Thomas the
This
Train.
kind of thing moves in. Are
Absolutely.
VeggieTales still a thing?
I don't think like a huge, not as big as they used to be.
Anyway,
Yeah.
anyway.
Scotty, I think if you're pulling the wiggles out of your ass, that's called a parasite. So we're gonna move on to the last.
Krabby's
member,
like, move on, please.
the last member of the Schnozzcast, Mr. Todd Dillon, sir.
How Dylan?
Yeah, so I actually ran the gamut. Originally, my first thought was I'd like to own the rights to all Prince music.
That's thousands and thousands and thousands of songs. That's a great call.
No, Todd's the man to do it. I
man.
am
But-
behind this plan 100%.
The Vault, TD.
Yeah,
I've seen that. That's incredible.
That was going to be my thing, but then I switched it up. I'm gonna stay near and dear to me. I'd own the Dallas Cowboys.
I thought he was going to say soup and a sandwich.
That's
just for a
no,
second.
Just for
I'd like to
shits
own
and
soup and a
giggles, they would've
sandwich.
said that.
So the Dallas Cowboys is what you would own.
Well, that's like
Yes.
that's the highest
Value.
equity, whatever franchise in sports out there.
Most valuable
right,
Gross.
NFL property.
like billions of dollars.
So Todd, let's give Todd the spotlight. What is your reasoning behind this, sir?
Because again, I love sports. It is the most valuable sports franchise in the world, worth about $5.5 billion, and so it'd give me access to every sporting event, theme. Just the leverage. It would be great leverage and something that's always going to have value.
So when you walk down the street and anywhere in the world,
You're like
there
the dude
goes
that owns
TD. There goes TD, the
Owns the
owner
Dallas
of
Cowboys.
the Dallas Cowboys,
Exactly.
Yeah, that's true.
So I think
but not Tony Dorsett, Todd Dillon.
Exactly.
I think the takeaway from this is that on my 3,000-acre ranch, I can host all of your dreams. And we can
Mine
all
and his. You could have a football
So you're
stadium
saying
and
the
his.
The
and
football-
Cowboys are going to
Yep.
play there on the weekends?
Yep.
Yeah, my
and
drive-in.
then Sunday night, drive-in.
amphitheater. There's going to be a
Concert.
6-inch by 6-inch area on the table in the kitchen of my ranch, set aside for Bob's iPod.
Thanks, man.
There's Cory's going to be able to use the lake that that's on my property.
Lesson.
And you
Here's
can
the
pull,
lesson,
you can
kids.
pull
Don't
Danielle's
go first.
camper up to
Danielle's
it.
camper will be out by the lake because she won't be welcome in my
Nice.
home. So
Wait, what?
it's brand new.
It's my home.
If they have a camper and a kayak, they can stay busy out
I
by
saw
the
how
lake.
you treated my Dearborn Heights home. No more.
Right.
Selesky Finns are not invited. Not welcome indoors. You stay out in your camper
Yeah.
where you can contain the damage to one specific area, but not in my home.
Todd, I'm gonna need you to. I'm gonna need you
He
to
was
put
saying in his
the
big ranch he could host all of our activities.
all your
okay.
ideas.
Everything that could come together in one spot.
Everything we said, right?
I said Todd.
Gotcha.
Todd could have his.
Except for your camper.
Todd could have, no. I said Todd could have his stadium. Corey could be out on the lake in his kayak. He could have his amphitheater off to one of the corners. Bob's could have a 6x6 inch place on my kitchen table for his iPod. And you could be spending the night with Corey out by the lake in your camper because you're not welcome in my home. Look at how we all come together. If you could put the sports stadium on the furthest side of
the back 40,
Yeah,
the back 40.
Right next to
This
Nick's
is not a
window.
sports. This is not a sports complex.
the back 400, we'll say, of the 3,000 acre ranch, I would appreciate it.
I don't ever want to see that
Right
fucking thing.
right outside Nick's window.
I don't understand why Nick fucking put the stadium in one corner of the ranch and the amphitheater in the other corner. Because I'm fucking. You know how hard it is in a kayak to get across that fucking
Paddle back and forth. I'd make it happen.
Come on,
How are you
Danielle.
going to keep the squatters off that 3,000
There's a will,
acre
there's a
ranch?
way.
Though? I mean, that's
Oh, hold on,
property.
hold on. Todd's concerned about squatters.
Well,
Well, 3,000 acres is
That's a lot of
property.
acres. It's a
Wait,
lot
did
of
you say 3,000?
Yeah.
yeah,
did.
3,000.
Yes.
Well, I'll tell you this, Todd. The owner of the Dallas Cowboys has his property on my property, so I am just raking in the cash.
the lease agreement on that. It's
Oh
gotta
my
be
God! You know,
monumental.
I've got my the police department is policing that guy. I mean, come on, man.
Oh God. The kick. I can't even imagine.
There's a
kickbacks are-
helipad and everything.
Hang on,
Oh, yeah.
3,000 acres.
Yeah.
What?
That's a lot.
My cabin was on 40 acres, just to
Yeah,
give you a
so-
perspective.
And a lot of it was littered with.
For what we're talking
shotgun
about,
shells.
he's right on the money as far as what you would need
Yeah.
to cover everybody's.
Corey,
bases.
think of all the open space where you'd have.
There might not be a lot left over.
Put your bucket and take an open
that
air
would cover
shit
everything.
on his 3,000 acres.
I mean, the Dixie Chicks sang about wide open spaces.
Oh
And
my
that's
God.
that's where Nick lost me. That's where I stopped.
Hold on, I'm sorry.
Stopped paying
One of their
attention.
That's
very
90 Second
popular
Sports?
songs when they came out.
I'm sorry. The Chicks.
Yeah,
That's right, the
they,
Chicks.
They did change their name.
They did.
Yeah, because
Well, politically
Dixie
correct.
is not
Yeah.
politically correct.
Right.
Yeah,
but
Lady-
the
Okay.
Chicks is better
It's
than
like a-
the Dixie
Lady
Chicks.
Antebellum.
Yeah.
They're
Changed
now
their
Lady
name to Lady A.
Well, that was because of a lawsuit.
No.
Nope.
No, politically correct.
Yep.
No, they actually were in a lawsuit.
I'm sure they
Well,
were.
They
Yeah,
probably were.
right.
Yeah.
But
No,
But
they
Antebellum.
100% were. There
Yeah.
was a lady who went by Lady A, who then when Lady Antebellum changed their name or wanted to change, she's like, "Fuck you, that's already my name." And they're like, "Do you know who we are? We're so famous.
We'll buy you out.
We will
Right.
sue you into oblivion." And
Right.
they
and they did. Well, yeah,
So-
because I was gonna say they must have won
No.
because they're going by
so
Lady A now.
I don't know. Yeah, so fuck.
But what
fuck
we're
Lady
talking
A
about is they changed from Lady Antebellum.
But
to Lady A, which
Yes.
was already
Not
owned
be-
by somebody
not-
else.
right,
They
but not
squeezed
because
it.
of a lawsuit.
people already referred to them as
No,
Lady A
but-
before they changed their
Copyright
name.
laws
But
only have so
they were
much
like,
value.
"Fuck you, it doesn't matter because we're Lady Antebellum and we'll do what we want." And so fuck those people.
But no,
I
the
have
Dixie
no-
Chicks, the Chicks doesn't make you any better than
No,
because
it's
you're
just-
still
Is it like the artist formerly known as the
right
Dixie Chicks
because
kind of
for
No, it's-
them.
No,
it's
I'm just saying. I mean,
the
it's
whole
just-
feminism
She's
thing,
saying-
Yeah.
and so
Right.
being
Were they
referring
big
to
into feminism?
yes,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
huge.
being
Well, they were big
referred
into
to-
politically
Yes.
left leaning, but
Yes.
I didn't know
Yes.
they were big into feminism.
Yeah, they are.
But referring to yourselves as the Chicks does not make it any better. Honest, I mean, from where they stand.
Yeah.
I think
When
they
I
should.
feel like you're saying you're a feminist and then you still go by the Chicks, I feel like you're not.
I think they
really-
should have switched to the D Chicks.
I did,
That would have been better.
Lady A, D chick.
I did
Yeah.
not know that Chicks was a feminist
Come on.
no.
No, I'm just
The
saying.
term Chicks.
Coming from a feminist.
I'm not a feminist.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I didn't know Chicks was a derogatory term. Is Chicks not a
I mean,
appropriate?
I feel like when you're a feminist, saying like referring to people as chicks isn't really
Yeah.
Yeah, Bob.
a
If you went
forward
to work,
thinking motion.
Women.
Wait, hold on. What's
yeah,
what's that?
right. I was going to say, if you went to work, Bob, and your boss was a woman, and you said, hey, "You're a nice chick," I think you'd get fired.
Like,
That's
excuse me,
a
chick.
career
It would
limiting.
be a-
No, but
Appropriate.
there are times and places for those types of terms. Clearly, I wouldn't use it for my boss if she was
Correct.
female. But
But I
if
feel
I
like
had, if I was
as-
female and I had a bunch of female friends, I might use that term.
But I feel like just because of I know how they are politically and they've been very vocal about how they are politically, I just feel like the chicks for them is still derogatory.
Like a double standard.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Huh.
absolutely.
clearly they don't feel the same way.
No, they're kind of bitches.
They're those
Whatever.
chicks. They're just chicks.
They're just a bunch of bitches, really.
I mean, it'd
I
be
love
like
how bitches is fine, but those
It'd
I
be
mean,
like-
chicks.
I'm not a feminist, so I don't.
no,
really
but it would be like it would be tantamount if they change their name to like the Broads.
the broads.
Yeah, I don't think.
The classy broads.
Yeah,
Yeah, just because you took Dixie out of your name doesn't make it.
I still like
Better.
D-chicks, but
Yeah,
that's just me.
just
Oh
saying.
my goodness.
That's just my opinion.
I can see it.
I learn something new every time I'm in this podcast. Every time Danielle's in this
Definitely
podcast.
not a feminist by any
Well, you know what they
means.
say, Bob? If you don't learn something new every day, then you're a day behind.
Do they say that?
Yeah, that's what they say.
I feel like
They.
I
If
heard
you look
that
it up on the
yesterday.
internet,
I
that's
feel
what
like I heard
they
that
say.
yesterday, but I wasn't paying attention.
So on each podcast, if you don't learn something new every podcast,
You have to.
then you're a podcast.
You know we're a comedy podcast, right?
So if you don't get new material,
He is pushing forward with that theory. Guys, I want to close this out. We're getting close to the end here, but I want to close this out with Pick of the Week. Mr. Todd Dillon.
Oh, I don't want to go first.
Ms. Danielle Finn, because you didn't go first in the last segment.
I
Do you
will.
have a
I will
pick?
do these actually.
Oh, no.
Hey,
Oh, no.
let's see
Have
what I
you-
got.
Are you sure you haven't done them before?
No, I did. Last time I did the new White Claws.
But you've done Trulies before.
No, I haven't because I don't like Trulies.
But you're doing it now?
Because
she likes these Trulies.
These tropical, the punch ones.
she
I
clearly
don't
likes these
understand.
ones.
I
The punch
feel like you did it
ones.
before,
No.
but you're like, no, because I don't like them. But here
I
I'm
don't-
doing them now.
I don't like the regular Trulies. I do not particularly like because I think their flavors are nasty.
Okay.
But they now have a punch one.
Ooh,
There's tropical punch, fruit punch, berry punch, and a citrus, which I haven't tried that one yet. But they're very tasty.
very tasty.
They
Look how
are.
proud she is.
They're good.
You looked like Vanna White holding that.
I
up.
know. I was showing off the can. I just happened to have an empty one.
Good
So
pick.
those are very good. I highly recommend them. They are a little sweet, so you kind of have to. I like to kind of go back and forth between different ones because it's a lot.
That's
Just-
good to know for the chicks out there.
It is.
You like to switch back from that to like salt water.
Well, right now I have
Balance it out.
Salt water.
Blake's hard cider,
The
which is
Blake.
also very tasty.
Save that for
Hold on.
4 weeks from now.
Are those the Angelique Jerome's?
I have no
Yeah,
idea
I think
who they
they
were.
are.
They were on the side of the
She-
refrigerator.
She came over very intoxicated.
Thanks, Angie.
We had a great time, and she brought 12 and drank one.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
More for the team.
So yeah, that's right. That's those are good people. I like those kind of people. So we're gonna go to Bob Rankin next.
Oh, shit. Okay, I was just going to pick that Scotty.
No.
Okay, all right.
Those little fingers that keep going out in the other direction, but they need to turn right back around.
So my pick is there is an app that you can get. You can actually get to the website right from your browser, or you can download the app on any Android or iOS device. Or like me, if you have an Apple TV, you can get the app and you can put it right in your fucking TV. It's called Soma FM. It is an app that it was started in San Francisco, radio station that had to do with what's the big Burning Man festival that's out in the desert there. Guy who was linked up with the festival decided he wanted to start a radio station. So it's got 37 channels. It's all for free. And it falls under the category of shit that Nick Bader would hate. So there's a lot of electronic, there's a lot of trance, there's a lot of dubstep, there's a couple of dedicated reggae stations, and also some like hardcore 80s pop or 80s alternative stations that are there. And they're actually curated by DJs who work for the company. So unlike radio stations where you're deluged with commercials and it's very monetized and a big business, it's still a startup.
Soma, like SOMA.
SOMA FM, right? Which stands for, I believe it stands for like the southern, like South something in there's a neighborhood around San Francisco whose first two letters are MA, so it's like South whatever that is,
Right.
and that's where it originated from, as well as the drug that was in a William Burroughs novel that the guy who founded it, who still runs it, was a fan of. So if you're looking for something a little bit different, if you like, and I will tell you, like there's a couple of lounge stations on there, like really
I bet they're-
cool
I was
ass
gonna
music.
say. I bet that's
That
really
if I was
cool.
hanging out at home and I was having a couple of drinks and I was little,
Yeah.
couple of really good stations.
You
There's
were
only
doing, and you were
37
doing what?
stations.
What were you doing? Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Just
Legal
breathing,
in Michigan, by the way.
breathing heavily.
We're in Michigan, so I would definitely recommend it. Look for Soma. It's SOMA FM, either the website or the app on your Apple TV or Roku or directly on your Android or iOS device.
Wow, good pick, man.
Thanks for putting me in the spot.
I'm
and
intrigued.
now I'm done.
Yep. So
Now, I know Scott had a pick.
Scotty Moore, yeah.
I have actually two, if I could. But also, I want to interject.
Son of a bitch.
No.
Because you don't come by very often.
No, I
get
want
it.
to interject because I was talking about how listeners pick up on and follow your GA stuff and watch movies and things like that.
I
that
feel
you
like
guys
when you say
recommend.
listeners, you're saying yourself and Lori. Like a
Okay,
very,
yeah,
it's a
me
very
and
small
Lori and
number.
Gina, all right? What the fuck?
Gina,
Let's just cut to the
exactly.
chase.
It's a small number.
Joe once in a while or whatever. Used to be what the fuck. Anyway, I like Todd, I've caught up on some of your spices and Nick, you recommend things like with cooking and
Yeah.
I mean it sounds corny, but if it's makes sense or
Why not
give it a whirl.
why knock yourself
We're
out?
all on Amazon, like
Yeah.
just click it and go. And like, yeah, I'll
Someone's-
try that
if
for
someone's-
$6.
yeah, if
What the
someone's
fuck? It's free
recommending
shipping
it,
and
yeah.
what the hell? Nick said it was a good spice, so
Yep.
So that was kind of what I wanted to interject was that again, back to what I was referring to earlier, is that the listeners pay attention.
Sure.
Or
Was there a
take-
pick in there somewhere?
Oh, I'm getting to that.
Okay,
I got
gotcha.
two of them.
All
So
right.
We're
not even to the first pick
and
yet.
Cory,
Okay.
and Cory's thing was
Yeah.
this was 3 months in the making. So this was like what I wanted to go
You
through.
got a lot of stuff built up.
So
a lot of built up.
the first one is this.
All right.
You guys ever seen these? Because you guys aren't as old as me, but
Broken
I noticed
glasses.
them
No.
on your.
With
no.
a
So these
headband?
are when you turn old like us. Because
Don't say us. Just stop
No.
saying us. Because
okay, you and me, Bob. All right.
no.
Oh.
I have
Bob
unbroken,
already
You've worn
has
glasses
I have
since I've known
unbroken
you.
glasses. I have glasses that are in one piece.
Right, but you've also worn glasses since I've known you. So
Yeah.
So Scotty is holding up for the audio
So
listeners.
this is a reading glass because I've turned over 50. I admit, and this is a click. It's called Click It, and you can get it on Amazon or on their website. It's called Click It, like CLIQ.
Mm-hmm.
And
It's like another company we know.
Yeah.
you pull it, you put it around your head, so you don't have to put like your cheater glasses up on top of your forehead or whatever, so they fall off. This goes behind your neck,
Mm-hmm.
and then it has a magnet in the middle, and it clicks together.
Todd, jump in here anytime here because I
So-
feel like you got a lot to say.
I'm just saying that this is. I just wear them around my neck, and I just
So
pull them between.
So basically-
Obviously,
Again, I don't
headphones
want
on,
to
I
make fun
can't do
of
it.
Scotty Ward because he's
No.
handicapped.
No, and I remember I used to think like 4 years ago when Brett Engel was bringing out like cheaters. I'm like, dude, I'm never gonna be me, man. I'll never wear cheaters. That's
Did you say that?
Oh yeah.
Who's Brett Engel?
Yeah, exactly.
So,
My point
yeah,
is that this click it for cheaters.
So yeah,
people
for the audio listeners. So basically,
Right.
it's a U-shaped plastic,
Right.
really thin, that attaches to glasses. It's all one piece.
Right.
And in the middle, the part that goes above your nose on the glasses, it breaks apart. It almost goes around your neck like those Bluetooth speakers that go around
Correct.
your neck and hang around your neck.
And then you would pull it-
when you're ready to use them, you pull them up
Over your
and-
ear.
Yep, and the middle of the glasses will snap together with a magnet, which is a really cool idea because I can't tell you how many times like people I know or worked with have been like, "Oh, I got to go to the pharmacy and buy another $2 pair of glasses."
or to
reading glasses.
Walgreens and buy 12 of
That
them or
is true.
whatever.
Yeah,
People
because
that buy readers are always losing.
they
them.
lose
Right.
them all.
So
the
you don't
time.
lose these, and you don't need a prescription. You can just go on Amazon and buy the what prescription you need.
So what are you going to do with those when we find them here in the morning?
Right.
They're going to be around his neck.
Yeah. Right. A beer bottle.
So yeah.
And that's actually
Dear Scott,
my Uncle
found
Don.
your readers.
F you. You
Swing
they
by
would
on
never.
your way home.
Yeah.
My Uncle Don had something similar prior to even those existing. He got foldable ones because he did the exact same thing.
That's what Brett had.
He'd always put them on his forehead and end up losing them or breaking them somehow. And so once he had the foldable ones, he'd take them out and he'd be able to put them on. And then once he was done with them, fold them away, put them in his shirt pocket with all his other pens and markers that he had in his top shirt pocket.
Brett
A lot of
had
pens.
Brett had
Yeah.
foldable ones, and he put them in his little money clip. it would flip, and he had a little pocket, and it would fold up, and he put it right there with his wallet.
My
that hipster doofus. I knew
it was
there
Colorado
a-
guys.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
my old lieutenant was a very intense man. He was very matter of fact, and he swore a lot. And he was racing around trying to get to work, and his wife came out, and he's like, "What the fuck is going on?" And she's like, "What are you doing?" "I can't fucking find something." And she's like, "What? I don't. What? Why don't you let me? You don't know. You're not gonna know where it is." And she's like, "Why don't you just try me?" "I can't fucking find my reading glasses." She's like, "The ones on your head?"
Right. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. But the other one I had is a little more, I want to say, user friendly for all of us that drive a car.
Okay.
And it's, and forgive me if this has been covered in the past, so I might miss this. So it's called FIXD, so fixed, and it's for your car. And I found this on one of those stupid ads that you get like through Facebook where they pop up these things. You're like, oh, dude, I'm sick
What
of
does
seeing
it
these
do?
ads. What you do? Shut up.
Move on.
Shut up. So you buy this little component and you plug it up underneath your dash into your plug-in system to read
Wire cluster or something like that.
Yeah, and where you reads your computer for your car.
Mm-hmm.
And if you have a check engine light on, it will read what the check engine light is on for. It will diagnose what your problem is.
That sounds worthless.
So
No,
You
it's
drive
not
to the
worthless.
dealership and you go, dude,
And
a
pay
light came
$85 for them to read the same
So-
thing.
so-
This costs like $30.
So basically,
This is crazy town.
my brother-in-law, my old brother-in-law, used to work at Ford, and they had a StarTAC machine, and it was exactly that, but it was much bulkier, and it was several thousands of dollars.
This thing is this big,
Yep.
and it plugs in. And what you do is, and it's obviously app driven, so you upload the app.
Yep.
And you plug it in, and you start your car, and then you go to your app, and you hit, connect or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It has you have your check engine lights on, and then obviously as it reads it, it'll come up and it'll say code number blah blah blah, whatever it is, 101C3, whatever the hell it is.
I hate
and then
that one.
And then, yeah, exactly. There are some that are better than others. And then, as I found, so that's why I can help people.
This makes no sense to me.
When you blow an engine on the way to the first podcast.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how well did that work out for you?
Yeah.
If you only had this on the way to the first podcast.
Right. So it will tell you like this is a oxygen sensor, and it is not.
Oxygen sensor.
Yeah, it's an O2 sensor.
O2
Oh,
and
what are you going to
it's
do about
not-
that?
And it'll
my
assess.
God.
It'll assess
Oh my God, not
the risk to your engine. Like, do you need to get right away?
Is it critical?
It's not critical.
Right.
There's no red lights. There's like a yellow light or whatever. Just like, hey, this is what it is. It doesn't affect the performance of your engine. This is what it is. And then obviously when shit comes on that's red and blaring with like crosses and shit, that's like,
Don't drive
So
anymore.
it's a
that's a bad critical.
user-friendly, very small, compact diagnostics machine. for
Absolutely
your
cool.
vehicle.
And it you obviously they'll offer you the complete package if you want to get monthly subscriptions, and
They screw you at the drive-through.
if you want to like, okay, this is what your thing came up and you need to fix it. So this is your local place and it'll cost you, you can,
What was the name of the app?
it's FIXD, so fixed.
So you needed to fix it.
You need
is
to
what you're
fix
trying-
it.
Yeah.
So the little diagnostic tool costs about $30.
Wow.
That seems like false advertising because it doesn't
But it-
actually fix anything.
Well, it does when you say, I don't want
Wow.
to take it to the dealer to know why my check engine light came on and spend $85 for a diagnostic fee.
So hold on a second. Based on that, the thing tells you that your oxygen sensor is bad. Mm-hmm. Your check engine light's still on, right?
Mm-hmm. You could also,
What do you
it has
do
a
about
thing. It has a thing where you can take the light off. You can take your check
nice.
engine light off.
That's what I was waiting for.
No, it does.
There we go.
No shit.
Right.
Now you
Just turn that light
start-
off.
I don't
It'll
care
take the
about
light
that.
off. It'll come back on after a period of time, after a period of usage.
Or
as
will
far
it?
as-
Or if I take my
But then,
fixed app,
but then you
turn it
just
off
run
again.
the diagnostic and double check that it's the same
That's what
problem.
I was waiting for.
And then you can make the check engine light go away.
Corey needs
and
that.
all those
Hold-
stupid bells
all right,
that go off.
Hold on. Todd had an objection to raise here specifically.
I have thousands of them.
I was
This
going to
sounds
say it's
worthless.
Todd. What the fuck?
At the end of the day, you're still taking your car to get to someone to fix it.
Well, no question. But at least you know what you're getting into, And then what they offer, which I've never paid for because, again, you can kind of figure it out somewhat, is that, oh, this is a major problem. So if you subscribe to this, whatever, $15 a month bullshit, and then it'll cost you $400 to get this problem fixed. You know, they give you estimations
they
on
hook
your
you into
costs.
Car Shield or something like that.
So
then.
that's where the diagnostic will rate it as far as critical or non-critical. Or,
Right. So if you're in the Poconos somewhere or somewhere remote,
or 2 hours towards
like,
out of the Poconos.
Hey, I'm either stranded or this is going to be fine. Let me turn this off and I can get out of here.
So misfiring engines, that's a problem.
Oh, yeah.
That's a critical.
Yeah.
Yeah, but here's the thing. If you're in the middle of the Poconos, in the middle of nowhere in banjo country, you're going to keep on driving anyway.
I tried that. I ended up being stranded for 7 hours.
So, okay.
And I didn't make it here for 3 months.
So,
per Corey's point.
Who is Cory? You have not gone.
I have
yet.
not gone yet.
Cory, go ahead.
Mine's very simple. It's the Manfrotto tripod I've purchased. That's right here that we're using for Scott's camera. We've taken it up north to your cabin.
Okay, that's
yes.
when you had okay.
The one that has a dildo coming out of it?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
I use that in my butt only.
I was going to say, I never used that and I never even thought about that until you said it.
I mean, as long as you're hitting the prostate, that's all we care about.
Oh,
Dude, great tripod. Way better than the one we had that is now in the junkyard waiting to be used.
Where it belongs.
In case I forget this one. Very sturdy, easy to use, and very portable. And
Has its own carrying case.
has its own carrying case. And very, very affordable, too, for an actual good tripod. Rather than,
Dildo shaped, I assume.
I mean, if you painted it blue, it would look like Gonzo.
Yeah.
hey, dude, it works, and it works way better than the one we had, so.
No, that's really cool. So what we're describing, the very phallic shape that comes out of the side of it, is it's on like an articulating ball in the middle, and you can use that as a handle to move around the tripod to angle it in whatever direction you want.
Oh, yeah.
So it's pretty cool. It almost has like like one side of an Xbox remote that you can hold on to. So cool pick.
That's my pick.
All set on that? Okay.
All right.
Well, it was very quick. He was right. He was very quick.
No.
So we have Todd. Have you gone?
I have not.
Yes.
Todd,
No,
go ahead.
he specifically said,
I
"Don't."
didn't
want to
go first.
So I'm like, "You're going to the back."
Well,
of the
this
line,
is
though.
absolutely. You're absolutely not going. You're going second to last. So go ahead, Todd.
Perfect. My pick this week is actually something I just got recently. I watched a Chase commercial again and again and again, and there's in this Chase Bank commercial, they showcase a black-owned honey business, Zach and Zoe's raw honey, and I use honey in a lot of my recipes, so I ordered a jar of their raw honey, and it is fantastic. So Zach and Zoe's raw honey.
Yeah, so they used an actual
commercial.
No, not an actual
Yes,
commercial, but an actual company in the commercial that
Yeah.
They
that
did.
you looked up.
They did.
And
Right.
That's fucking. That's awesome.
That's more.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a campaign to support small businesses and basically say like we wouldn't be around if we didn't have these options from Chase. Yada yada yada.
Hey,
kind of thing.
so hang on, Todd. Did you actually look that up on your own, or did you already know they were an actual small business?
I didn't. So I saw the commercial and it hooked. I'm like, wow. I've not known any bee. I know a couple people who keep bees, but I didn't know that was a thing that people were. I don't know. The commercial hooked me. I did a little bit of research, found out it was a small black-owned business, and I use honey in my cooking quite a bit, and so I decided to give it a go. And I got it on Amazon. Like Scotty said, you can easily just go to Amazon and get Zach and Zoe's, and so I got it, tried it, love it.
Beekeeping.
Dude,
what is the
that's awesome because
term for it?
I think a lot of people see commercials like that and just think that those are fictitious businesses
That's birds.
that don't really exist.
Chase has been doing it a lot.
So the fact that they actually did that and that's an actual business and they're using actual businesses, that's really, really fucking cool.
Yeah, I liked it.
Good pick, man. As a matter of
Thank
fact, because I'm
Good job, Todd.
now you have me wanting to go on and order a jar.
Or rewatch all the Chase commercials and see what else is on there.
Right. Go back and see what
It looped you right in.
other good
I want a
businesses.
credit card.
Damn it, Chase got me in two
I need a
ways.
rewards member.
Nick Bader.
All right, good pick. So my pick, if anyone's ever heard of the Vornado fan,
Oh, yes.
okay, so that is not my pick.
God damn it.
My pick, so the strong, confident people at Amazon said, screw that Vornado and screw you spending $70. We're going to copy and take all their technology. And we're gonna give it to our customers at a much lesser cost. So they took basically what the Vornado's an awesome fan with 6,000 5-star reviews on Amazon, $70, 11-inch fan. You can get them in all different sizes. So Amazon went ahead, created a same 11-inch fan, looks very similar. However, it's made by Amazon Basics, and it goes for the 11-inch, and they have a 7. The 11-inch is $25.99. Wow. 16,000 5-star reviews. I got this. I was lucky enough to get this. Since I purchased it, it's been out of stock. Every time I've looked at it, it's been out of stock. The fact that it's Amazon Basics, it comes. I see that it comes back in stock, and then it completely goes back out of stock. So I purchased it for vacation. And there's been times when my AC has not been very low at all. Like, it's been kind of warm in my room. And I'm like, you know what? I want this fan on me. I already have a fan going, but I really don't feel it. And I'll turn this on low, and I actually get the chills. It's like, okay, I kind of have to force it to go up towards the ceiling because I feel like I'm going to wake up with the flu if I keep this on me. But
I love waking up with the flu.
It does I've never gone past low, and I absolutely love sleeping with a fan. So that should tell you something. And considering the air was not that chilly at all, it was kind of mild. I can't wait to use it up north. So yeah, so it's the Amazon Basics 3-speed small room air circulating fan. The 11-inch model, like I said, $25.99. It is out of stock, but couple weeks ago when I looked into it, it said the same thing, and I ordered it, and it came within about a week and a half. So
It was out of stock when you ordered it?
Yep.
I would call it the Scott, but you got to wait 3 months for that.
I get a what?
I would call it the Scott, but you have to wait 3 months for him to come.
Wow.
And I was going to say when you go up north of the 45th parallel or
When
south.
we're going, when we're
we-
going to
We go up north in 20 days.
Do we know where the 45th parallel is?
No.
Just as a trivia.
I don't.
It's between the 46th and the...
No, as far as on our
44.
What it runs
You're-
through?
when I keep referring to that, do you
You're
guys
talking about the
actually
Michigan Mason-Dixon? Like,
Kinda, yeah.
No, I do not. I've
It is-
never heard
it
of it
is
referred to as.
just like a hair south
If
of
you
Gaylord.
fucking say Oscoda. Okay.
That makes
Anyway,
sense. So,
when we do our map
Yeah,
of Michigan, it's
yeah.
cross your knuckles.
our rule of thumb was always Standish.
Standish Sterling.
You're like what, like an hour north, I think. Probably.
No,
Standish?
they're more.
Oh,
they're
no.
To
like,
Gaylord?
Like 2 hours.
like 2 hours at
we're
least.
we're
from
45
Standish.
minutes. I'm 45
no,
minutes.
not you
north.
personally.
Oh.
I'm saying Standish to Gaylord.
Hour and a half.
A little more than an hour. Hour 15.
Yeah. So yeah, our Mason-Dixon in Michigan was always you're up north at Standish, but I could see that.
Which again, that's a debate because if you go from Standish across west, that's Clare.
Okay.
And then that's the gateway to the north if you're going up 127.
Well, there you go. So that would make sense.
So depending on where you're coming from, that's
That
north
line.
of Clare is north.
Yeah, sure.
So where I'm referring to is even north of Grayling,
It's
because
even
that's
north
where
of north.
north of north.
That's what I
But
was
the
thinking.
45th parallel just seems to be because I've lived up there for 20 years now, is that if you're north of the 45th parallel, it's basically Gaylord north.
North. Okay, cool.
And if you go across, again, west, across the map, it really is Traverse City.
Yeah.
Across there.
I mean, we have property in Marquette, so we're a little bit more north than you.
yeah, that's
so.
a little bit more north. That's 4 hours. Dude, that's 4 hours from me. That's up north. But I love the UP is just incredible.
Oh,
That's
beautiful.
Incredible.
Tune in next week for more Michigan cartography lessons. But for this week, that was episode 127 for Schnozzcast. On behalf of Bob, Nick, Cory, Todd, Danielle, and special guest Matt Moore, thank you for tuning in, and see us next weekend for 128.